This is Sandstorm. This is Sandstorm.
Connect yourself with the word, so you're always online. Sonic can run fast, but my Lord is always on time. I was doing the word, but only to check off the list. My Lord didn't do me like that, so why would I do him like this? It's time to push his agenda, even if the odds are stacked. Because he makes a way out of no way, and he's got my back. You feel the pressure, huh? That ain't enough. We fall down, but now it's time to level up.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are here for another Stormcast. Yeah, let's do it. I got my co-host here as well. My Winging It podcast, brother Jack. How you doing, man?
Hey man, I can't complain. It's a beautiful day.
Hey, I feel that. Vito, how you doing?
I'm good. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
All right.
We were just sitting here chilling in the back, and I played. It's funny because I played this. I think I played this for y'all,
Sandstorm.
and I see both of y'all rocking. Like, they coming up with something.
And I mean, it's in that bag situation because you already know what I'm working on because you sent me like 2 or 3 more, and that same night I was like, hey, I got something already. Like,
yeah. So we are having a great Saturday here. First, shout out to my older cousin. It's his birthday today. Shout out to my cousin Aaron. He never watches the show, but I'm still shutting him out anyway. What up, J Biggs, Brand Smith? Appreciate y'all coming through, man. One thing that I really love and I think is really dope. Like before we even get all the way into that's you, Vito.
Yeah.
One thing that I really love that y'all do is y'all still come through. Like this was like last minute change. He ended up having some stuff that he had, to do with his birthday and stuff like that. And I'm like, usually we start at 7, but he's like, I'm starting to watch these scary movies at 7 and have people come over. So I'm like, all right, let me go ahead and move this back. And y'all still came through. I really appreciate that. To all the subscribers, Dark Void, and my moderator is just like, hey, any given Saturday, I'm here for you. So I really appreciate that. Before we get into it, y'all know how we do. Deacon Sandstorm has got to go ahead and lay down a prayer for us and pray over the podcast today. So, Father God, thank you for letting us come here today and speak on things that we love. We appreciate that you have given us the things that we love to be able to talk about the things that we love. Let this podcast be a great and enlightening and enriched podcast that may stimulate others' minds and their want to be able to play games, which ultimately really just glorifies you guys. So we thank you for this and everything in the future. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen, bro.
Amen.
All right. So before we get into it, since we got Jack on here, we'll do the usual. I'm not gonna go a little bit crazy today. Vito, I'm gonna need you to put in some work for me because I don't know how much time is left. I think it's the third quarter, but of that Iowa State game, just give me a shout out if anything changes. I know we're up, which is great because
I ain't gonna lie, I'm watching my dogs right now, to be honest.
and y'all are down, right?
No, we putting them butts on Texas right now.
Oh, okay. So y'all
We putting that. Hey, which one of y'all came? Hey, I don't think y'all know who. We put one of them on them. You know what I'm saying? Lip shaking.
Yeah. So more or less, I would say more or less, y'all having a pause 3-way between Texas, Georgia, and Alabama. Ain't none of y'all just get right, huh?
Yeah, for real. Yeah,
Okay.
but no, Michigan State's up.
Okay, that's cool.
We about to start the fourth quarter.
Okay, well that's good. Oh dang, they started coming back though, because at the half it was 12-0. So
Oh, okay, yeah.
yeah. Hopefully they can hold out then. because they definitely need this win going into the Michigan game next week. So yeah, I said pause, Brad Smith. I said pause. I definitely said pause on it. You know.
Hey, real quick, shout out to Illinois. I just want to say that.
Oh yeah, shout out to Illinois because they actually beat Michigan. I'm saying actually like it wasn't even possible, but Illinois ain't really a team that like really be doing anything in the Big Ten. So when they do something, they like do something. You know,
Hey, they ranked number 22 right now.
I think they've only lost one game, right?
I think so.
So I mean, realistically, they should be a little bit higher, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
Dark
LSU
Boy
won
said,
today.
"Yeah, LSU winning. That's what's up."
Doing that thing.
Bama lost.
Yeah, that's why I ain't even talking about it.
Oh yeah, Jack.
Our reign is over. Our reign is over.
I ain't want to say nothing. I'm just up there like,
Yeah, the
is
reign
he gonna
is
say
over,
something? Is he gonna
Nope.
say something?
Yeah.
Silence, sir. When you know bad things are happening, you don't talk about them.
I mean, to be fair though, I mean that was a good game though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Besides the end, like just the freak out, you know what I'm saying? The quarterback was like, oh my gosh, the pressure was getting crazy.
Yeah.
Tennessee put that pressure at the end, but it still was a good game.
Yeah, Oregon won theirs. Who else was I looking at? Indiana still holding it down. That's crazy. Indiana 7-0. That's just as crazy as Illinois being 6-1. So
Yeah.
it's I mean Big Ten putting in the work this year.
He almost got the touchdown.
So but back to the program. Jack, what you been playing lately, bro?
Shoot, WWE 2K24, Sparking Zero. Like me and the kids were on Sparking Zero when we went to Alabama to kind of escape the storm.
Yeah.
Then I bought Mario Party yesterday.
Jamboree?
Yeah.
How is
Man.
that?
Let's just say it's still Mario Party in all of its good ways, at least. Because what was it? I played my first Mario, like the first Mario Party against the CPU, and then I like try all the different modes, because even when I see certain people talk about it, they're not talking about everything that's in the game that you could do. Because even when you talk about like the what is it? It's kind of like a Bowser party thing. Is literally like I say 6 or 8 characters, and you have to like strategically like work together to kill Bowser within 5 rounds. Because if you don't kill him in 5 rounds, then he wins ultimately. And so it's things like, let's say, for example, we play a mini game, and depending on what ranking we got as a group will determine how many items you can choose from to kind of use to help you win against Bowser. So, for example, we did this one mini game to where we got an S rank, so it gives you a ability to get like a speed boost pad, a hammer, which actually helps you open up the crates of bombs faster. And then also get like a glove for you to carry 4 bombs instead of 2. And so the whole goal is for you to get up to, I guess, 20 bombs in the cannon to shoot Bowser, so that way, you know, you can knock down his power bar. And he has like 3 actual bars. Once you knock down the first one, then he goes into a different phase to where he might like start shooting fire at you, or he starts shooting fireballs in the air, and it like the lava stays on the ground. So it's like him running around chasing people. Then you got like the little I forget their names, like the little football characters. They
yeah, the brothers.
Yeah, so they're on the map too, and they're trying to attack you. So it's literally like everybody's running in different directions, waiting for these crates to drop, and you have to go bust these crates open to take these bombs back. But like I said, he can key in on somebody and start chasing them. Like I said, you got like thunderbolts that you can use. You can use bananas that make them slip. Just a whole bunch of things. But the whole thing is, we got to the end. He had literally less than an inch of power left, and we lost with like 0.2 seconds. Wow. And that was the easy level.
Wow.
So we did that. The Koopathon, I didn't know exactly like what all we were gonna do, but really it's like I think it was like 50 plus people that's all on the map, and you're like doing laps. It's like 3 laps. So you're playing these mini games, and I think it's like a total of 3. And each lap you take, it gets significantly harder. each time you go take those laps. So like, let's say for example, you make it past all 3 mini games, the next round they're going to be harder. And so as you're collecting coins within these mini games, you're like running laps around the thing. So it's literally like this huge race. And if you lose in like one of those mini games at the end, then you can get a penalty of like knocking you back 40 spaces. So let's say, for example, you're right there neck and neck with somebody, you get knocked back 40 spaces and they win the mini game, you pretty much just lost at that point in time. So that was pretty dope. And then the last game I played was actual Mario Party Online for the first time. And so let's say I got decimated because we did the pro rules where you have the ranking system. So we were all like starting off on D rank, and it was starting off pretty good. And then somehow at the end, I ended up with 1 star, and this dude ended up with 6. Like he calculated everything perfectly, to where he had like 6 stars at the end. But like I said, as your rank increases, you play with different people, but it kind of takes away the bonus stars and all that other stuff to just play like straight up Mario Party. And it's all about like strategic stuff. But to me, the game was fun. I can't wait until the kids get here next year. I mean, not next year, but next week, for me to actually like play with them because they're dying to play it. I got enough Joy-Cons for everybody, so it's one of those things to where they're interested to play it. And the fact that you have that online component, it takes away that aspect of, well, dag, ain't nobody here. So now I just got a CPU. You can literally play with people online, and it pulled up a game pretty fast. And it was really stable. And we did 12 rounds, which is roughly like a little over 90 minutes. But yeah, I mean, it all ran fast. There is a timer, so you can't just sit there and just take your time. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I have fun with it. Like I said, it's one of those things that I started playing because it just recently came up, but for the most part, it's just been unlocking characters in Sparking Zero, and then unlocking what characters you can unlock in WWE and not a part of a DLC. So I can't get Jade Cargill, and that's the one I want, but she a part of the DLC. But yeah, I mean, but Sparking Zero has been on point. Like I haven't gone online with it yet, but for sure, like trying to figure out those combos and seeing people like realizing that Yajirobe's the best fighter in the game right now because he has this convenient ability to recover like his health.
Oh, that's nothing new.
Bro,
I feel like in the old ones, if you spam the Wolf Fang fist, that was it. Pat, 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 Wolf Fang, because it didn't use up that much energy.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, in the beginning, you saw a lot of people like spamming UI, solely because that's the go-to.
Right.
But then once people found a way to break it, now everybody wants to go get Birder and Yajirobe and all these other characters and Hercule. Like seeing people kill with Hercule is crazy. But yeah, those have been the ones I play, and then also the demo, which I plan on getting a little bit later on because I've been purchasing too much. Maestro on the Quest that's nuts. Like if you don't even have to be in to Orchestra, but man, like the fact that you literally, because you can do it with the hands free, so they tell you like, oh, you can pick up a spatula or whatever to use as like your baton,
right?
You get a little bit more real, but you're like full on orchestra. Crowd behind you, the whole 9 yards of like literally moving the notes, pointing to which section needs to play, raising up the level, lowering it down, making them like you're a full on maestro and conductor to make this orchestra play out. And some of them songs are ridiculous, but
that's sweet.
It's pretty dope. So yeah, but that's what I've been playing, man.
Interesting. Okay, so Dark Void says he's been playing the Silent Hill 2 remake. He said it's fantastic. That's good.
Yeah, I've been hearing good things about it too. Yeah,
I'm glad. We don't need another case of another bad game flipping through. Brand Smith said I've been playing Nico Dorico. Game has horrendously long pause on Switch. Other than that, Wuthering Waves, got to prepare for the upcoming update next week. Okay.
Nico Dorico's that platformer that seemed like it came out of nowhere. Yeah, I saw that the other day, and I was like, "Where did this come from?" And it's got co-op. I was like, "That's
it's the one that looks like almost like the ukulele kind of art style, right?" Yeah. I seen it too, and I was like, "Man, when did who did this?
Right. Came out of left field. I'm like, where was this game at? I had never heard of it.
J Biggs said, "What up, J Biggs?" Said, "I'm pretty sure everyone knows what I've been playing. It's been almost a month. Yeah, he's been playing more Zelda, if I'm not mistaken."
Okay.
Square, what's good? If anybody remembers Tenkaichi 3 online on the Wii, the top 2 players on the ranking system were Hercule. Yeah, I know, because Hercule, like, that was like the advantage that like the people who didn't really necessarily have powers had, is like you could spam their specials because they didn't use up as much
That's crazy.
energy. Yeah. And Hercule had the little jetpack on top of that. So
Yeah.
all right, Vito, what you been playing?
Sparking Zero and Undisputed. So I just downloaded that.
Talk to me, because I'm not hearing great things about the updates.
Yeah. So, oh snap! Something just happened. So when I downloaded it at first, I thought, certain people was gonna be in there, but they're not. But as soon as you come in, I think they start off with a tutorial, just like any other game, fighting game, whatever, like that. Let's see, the fighting mechanics is similar to Fight Night,
Okay.
just a little bit, but what's not similar is the physics. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you like get hit or something like that, like knocked out or something like that, you can't really tell at first,
Right.
because they still look like they're, you know what I'm saying, in some kind of fighting position. Then they go down. Yeah. And so then when they're down, the count out, like the dude is like laid. It's the same cutscene. Everybody's just laid out on their back.
Right.
And then then you get up, and then you like kind of kneeling there, and then you know what I'm saying, you waiting for the count or whatever like that. So it's really not like, you know what I'm saying, like you don't really feel like you've done any damage to the person, you know what I'm saying? So it's like Fight Night with certain physics pulled away. As of right now, from what I'm hearing like a lot of people are going online and they're like, the best player or the best boxer to box with on there is Dante Wilder. So, which is weird because they advertised Tyson like a mug on there.
Oh,
so
they really did.
Yeah. So I'm not sure what that's all about, but I think it's just somebody just want revenge because they feel like Dante should win those fights. But but to be all fairness, like Dante does have like very strong power. Like he is a power puncher. You know what I'm saying? It's just Tyson might be on some type of drug or something where he just don't feel it. So I don't know. But other than that, like I said, their roster is really not that impressive. Well, I mean, they I don't want to say impressive, but there's some fighters on there that you feel like should be on there that's not on there. That they had on Fight Night, that they had on you know what I'm saying, like UFC. Like for some reason, like boxers are showing up on UFC, which is crazy. Yeah, like I really feel like they missed out. I don't know the agreements with Tank. I don't know with Garcia. You know what I'm saying? Some of the other big names and stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying? Like Crawford is on there.
Okay.
Handling business or whatever. Canelo's on there handling business. And a couple other people. And then he got some old, like just a few old schools, like Sugar Ray, Muhammad, Frazier, you know what I'm saying? Just a few, you know what I'm saying? But it can be better. It can be better. Let's say that. So
Okay. Yeah, because I know one of the key things I was looking at, I guess for the update that's supposed to be coming mid-December, they were talking about, I guess, fixing some like the knockout impact I guess people have been complaining about that and improving like the blocking in career mode, which I saw the career mode for people that were playing the beta on PC. I thought they would have, upgraded that coming to console, but it seems like it's very bare bones. Like, hey, I won the title. Here's a screen of the title, and that's it. Like, they don't have celebration. Like this, like it's none of that.
Yeah, it lacks a lot of that like stuff. So, like the celebration stuff, like I said, the knockout is very underwhelming. Like when you get hit and you're like, you just
you kind of just like sprinkle down.
Yeah, and then you're like,
crazy.
wait, like which on Fight Night they're like, bah.
Yeah, they drop
right. You know what I'm saying?
Having seizures,
right? Hey, they be spazzing out. Let them hit that bottom rope.
Right, that rope is taking them out.
Yeah. So I mean, it's they can, and then like I said, the when you're knocked out, like dude's just laying on it like this, and then he gets up, and then he's like kneeling. It's like that's the same. It's like nah, like have my dude, trying to, you know what I'm saying, struggle a little bit, you know what I'm saying, or like change up that cutscene. At least have 2 or 3 different cutscenes.
I would say more
during that time.
I mean, because you got the space. It's not like
true.
Space. And you're like,
because
as many animations in there as possible.
I looked at how much space I was taking. I thought I was going, you know what I'm saying, like need some space, but I looked at it, I was like, oh, I don't need to take nothing off then. All right. Or, like I don't got to bounce nothing over to my other little storage. I could just whatever. So then once I started playing, I was like, I see why. But other than that, I mean, like the boxing, like your jabs, your hooks, like they're spot on. Like Crawford's like hook is Crawford's hook. Like that thing will floor you. Like but it is, I love the challenge, the fact that it ain't that easy just to knock somebody out or knock somebody down, and they're blocking. The blocks are like, from what I'm gathering right now, the blocking is key. Like you just ain't finna, like they good with blocking. So I'm like, oh yeah, give me a challenge. You know what I'm saying? Don't just have me just wailing out on dude.
Muhammad Ali used to do in Knockout Kings. You're like, let me move. Let me move.
And you really got to be, like it does make you kind of think about your strategy going in. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm Crawford, but it don't matter who I'm fighting. I still got to kind of like, okay, let me make sure my block is on point, or let me make sure at least my avoid, you know what I'm saying? Like my dodge is on point or something. Cause that really, I'm more of a dodger fighter. Like I'll block and all that. Of course I got to, but I'm more of like, let me catch you like that. And wow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like that can be also too, that counter, that can be a little better. Like when you kind of lean back and like, with Fight Night, it's you know what I'm saying? Or you can like go into your counter and then you know what I'm saying? So that can be a little better, because it kind of seems as if like you got a counter, let go, and then pop.
Punch.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
That's how it feels. But I don't know if I'm doing it wrong or something like that. But it don't feel like how Fight Night was more fluent, like with my
judging by what you're saying, because I'm looking at it now based off of like the company of what they're planning to update, and the critical issues seem to be, it says stagger hit reactions causing desync issues. It said power punches consistently bleed through blocks, meaning winning a fight online is largely down to throwing power punches. Deontay Wilder is overpowered, particularly his power hook. Some DLC patterns are unable to be used online. Players become stuck in an infinite transition screen after winning through an injury TKO. And for a minority of users, DLC doesn't appear for secondary accounts on Xbox. So yeah, it looks like they have some things to work out.
They got some,
But, I mean,
it's worth the, like, if you want to wait until like it get a little, you know what I'm saying?
I'm waiting for a little better. For this. Nah, I'm not.
Which, granted, like it wasn't that much. Well, I call it not that much, but it wasn't $70. I didn't pay $70 for it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, bet.
All right.
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, like I said, y'all know I do my little like like I have ADD type stuff where I play every single game. I like I got backlog. So there's some other stuff I'm kind of messing around with too. I'm still messing around with Astrobot a little bit.
Okay.
What was it? That was
You doing those time trials?
Who?
Time trials that they released.
No, you know what? I tried. Look, I started some of those, and then I was like, "Nah, this ain't for me right now. let me get my feet together first." You know, so let me make sure that I know what I'm doing first. Let me make sure yeah. So then, like I'm trying some. Like I'm there at that point. I haven't beat the game just because I'm kind of like I feel like I got to get those. Like
Gotcha.
you know what I'm saying? I get frustrated and then I'll come back.
Right.
I get frustrated, then I'll come back. You know what I mean?
Bet.
But yeah. So like I said last week, I was playing Ghost. I'm messing around with Ghost here and there.
Okay.
Ghost of Tsushima. Sorry. And I want to say on Xbox, I'm messing around with Modern Warfare 3 just to tie me over into next week.
Okay.
Because Black Ops 6 come out then, and I'm ready for that because what I'm saying they talking about. So now I'm saying I want to see with their storyline. I want to go on the campaign. The campaign for once for me is interesting me in the Call of Duty stuff. So I'm like, I want to see what that's about. Because I already know what it is about. It's like online, with the beta they had or whatever. Yeah, all right, I'm kidnap people and come on with me. Like it's ridiculous, man. Like what they do online with that is funny. But yeah, I'm ready for that.
Okay, bet.
Okay. So as for me, I mean, I guess y'all would know what I was pretty much playing. Like I only cycled through 3 games now. Diablo 5, more Diablo 5. Hey
Sansa, before you go,
yeah,
Michigan State is up 25-14. There you go.
Good. That puts us over a touchdown. So they gotta. So actually, all they need is a touchdown and a 2-point.
Yeah. To
tie it. Okay. They gotta stay strong, man. They gotta stay strong. So I've been playing Diablo 5. It's still been a great game.
Okay.
The Spiritborn is still a dope character. Probably, in my opinion, still one of the dopest characters in the game.
That because now that I got my Xbox back, I can do Game Pass. So
oh man, let me know because I'm always looking for somebody to try and run with. And they've set up. The system is coming so late, but they finally set up a system where you can find people that you want to play with, like with whatever you're trying to do, whether it's the rush, the enemy rush thing, or if you're looking to just like build up points and stuff like that. So it's a lot easier in that regards. And you'll
have to be like a certain level for us to link, or what's up?
No. So that's the good thing, and actually, it's kind of unfortunate because like as your first character, you have to play through the whole game, the story piece. But after that point, you won't ever have to do that ever again.
Okay.
But me being a higher level than you, it'll be a cakewalk just to run through all of that stuff. Right. And realistically, you're not missing anything.
Okay.
As far as like, oh well, I didn't get as much experience as you. Like, we'll get the same amount of experience. For me, when I fight like the bosses or whatever, if we're doing your story and I'm fighting the bosses or whatever, for me, they'll still be the level that I'm at. But for you, they'll still be at the level that you want. So it definitely evens out on those pieces. But like it's one of those games where actually, to be honest with you, you really don't have to even play through the story at all. Like I got the DLC and I've barely done any. I've done enough DLC stuff to unlock the new DLC like additives to the game, but I haven't finished the DLC in itself. So yeah, the seasons are all about leveling up and getting new gear and stuff like that. Your basic, MMO style game and everything.
Do I need to like binge to? Because I mean, if it's a season thing, that's how I always felt like whenever you try to get into those hero shooters or any game that had seasons, I always felt like I
Mhm.
was just behind because I came in so late.
So that's the other good thing is that you don't. I really don't know anybody who really PvPs like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, just don't go in and just be fighting everybody else. You know.
Right.
It's all about just taking down the hordes or making sure that you like. To be honest with you, I don't know if I've ever looked at the qualifications to beat each level, like each package level of the season, because like
Okay.
you get, I think it's 6 or 7 to complete like a whole season,
Okay.
and there's qualifications that you got to do in order to meet those. I just be going through, just loving and love, and then the next thing I know, I may hit I think because it's outside the shop, I may hit a button and be like, oh, dang, I got quite a few rewards. Let me go ahead and
Right.
click on these and get them real quick. But like, other than that, is really not a necessity. It's just for the difference between each season is they like add some sort of gimmick or something like that to make it more fun. They do change around some of the way the moves work too.
Okay.
So like, for example, like the Necromancer, he has a move. You remember Corpse Explosion? You just a corpse on the ground and it explodes.
Mhm.
So in Diablo 3, actually that move. Okay, so in 4, they got this move from Diablo 3, but in 4, you just get like either a regular corpse explosion or you get a miasma explosion. So like it'll explode. You'll have a pool of matter on the ground that does some damage over time.
Okay.
You get a legendary weapon and it turns the corpses into skeletons that'll run into the enemies and just explode whenever they touch them.
Right.
So that was originally how it was in the beginning of the season, but now they've added that whenever they touch anything that's exploded, they're slowed and they're feared. So they never chase you, and then on top of that, anything that's slowed or feared takes additional damage. So like they add different little pieces to make the actual characters be different without like making them way different.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, it's been a really fun game. Leveling, and this time around, no, it's not even the leveling that takes long. It's getting the materials and the armor and stuff like that. Materials and armor before used to be like you go through an area, boom, 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 your stash is full. Run it back to the place, sell it all, or turn it all into materials so you can get better weapons, stuff like that. Weapons they don't fall like that now. It's kind of surprising, but it definitely makes the game, I would say, a lot more fun because you have to stick with your guns for longer.
Gotcha. I like that.
Experimenting now is like, in Diablo, all the Diablos before, you had like set builds that were like the strongest. Like you really don't waver from that. Now it's just like, okay, if you want your basic attack to be the strongest thing that your person does, you can do that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I like that because that would always bug me. It's kind of like that in almost every game. Yeah. Where it's like, oh, this is the best build, or you need to go with this this character or this type of character because it'll make things easier. And I'm like, well, what if I don't want to be a mage? Like,
right,
so my life is gonna be difficult because I chose to be something different. It's crazy.
Yeah, so it's definitely a lot of that. And by the time you get to, I think they've changed the level top from 50 to 60, so you get 10 extra points into making your skills. But outside of that, then you get a tree, they call it the Paragon tree, that really just works on your stats. So now you're working on your little particulars, like do you have more armor, do you have more life, do you have more attack? And then there's like little points, they call them nodes, that are like, if this happens, your character can do this. And so you pick up a bunch of different nodes and stuff like that. And then when you get them, you can upgrade them, and then they become even stronger. So yeah, it's just it's the game is solid. The game is very solid.
Yeah, I need to get into it.
Yeah, and the season started when the DLC started, so
Okay.
October 8th. So you only a week out.
Okay.
Yeah, and that means that I believe it ends in December, late December. So you have 2 months really
Okay.
to really mess around with it before the next season comes around. And all the stuff that you get in the previous season moves over to your current season anyway, weapons and all. So yeah, so you be all set.
Okay.
I got back into Starlink because my Starlink finally saves again.
Okay.
So I don't know what happened or how that happened, but it's been saving again. So I've been running around as a newly formed Jedi with the red lightsaber.
So it's not Starlink, it's Starfield.
Thank you, Starfield.
I'm about to say,
Appreciate
I was like, you getting into Starlink again? I'm like, okay.
Yeah, no, not that. I ain't doing that yet. Yeah, back in the Starfield. Newly formed Jedi with the red lightsaber, handling business.
Okay.
I can now block and redirect attacks. It's cool, but it's not as cool as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Like I thought the people with the lasers was gonna be shooting at me, and I would literally, I wasn't expecting no, because that's not how Starfield runs.
Right.
But I figure with the block, you would see it just like bounce off and redirect back to him, and it doesn't do that. Like when you block, you just got to know that they hurting themselves. They're like, oh, that's not as fun, but that's okay. So yeah, I've been playing a lot more of that. Been trying to get into the DLC, but apparently, from what I understand, the DLC is actually paid, even though it said it was free on the hub. Like, I didn't really understand that.
Yeah, I saw a few reviewers saying that, like, you got the game on Game Pass, you got to pay for that DLC.
Yeah, that's wild. That's okay. That's how we doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Forza was like that too. Like when the Maha little desert area came out, like you got to pay for that DLC. Yeah.
That's weird, man. I mean, it is what it is, I guess. So yeah, been having fun with that. Been building up my starship, even more. We taking out some of the biggest ships in the game, and it's and then the last game, I was straying away. It was Tales of Vesperia, but then it's actually been replaced by Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay.
And man, it's just like, it's not that I don't want to play the game. The game is just overwhelming. It's just. It's like, every time I step in the game, I'll be like, man, I got to do some of this story. Like, some of the story has to get done. I need to know what at least happens.
Right.
And then I start doing some of the story, and I'm like,
yeah,
I know
the feeling.
I think I would just rather go collect some stuff or go explore.
Yep. I go.
So it's been a struggle on that game, man. I don't know. That game may be done in like 2026, to be honest with you. Like the way that is going.
Sound like me.
Yeah. It's like real life gamer woes, man.
Right.
And I said this on the Winging It podcast last week, so I'm gonna say it again here. And I want y'all to really understand, because it's a real serious thing, even though we do joke about it. Because it's October. This is the month this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Mm-hmm.
This is mental health awareness month as well. So with that being said, I need y'all to finish our games. I need y'all to finish our games. Like, seriously though, and it's not because like y'all not finishing games, but I have this problem. I know Jay, he admitted he had the problem. I know Shadow has the problem. But we tend to buy more video games, and the games that we're playing aren't done. And that's
100%.
That's a mental health problem.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
is one of those where, you know, it's I guess it's like the feeling, it's like a double feeling, right? Like
Yeah.
because half of you is like, man, I really don't have anything to play, but you've been playing these games and not finishing them. And
Mhm.
on the other side is like, well, I want the new thing, you know,
Yep.
I want the new experience, and I've been waiting for this. I've been watching it, and it's just giving me that euphoria of wanting to have something new and being able to play it.
Mhm.
So I need y'all. I seriously need y'all to finish our games and really work on that mental health. That's something. That's something as a gamer that we need to be more aware of, and actually utilizing. And it's not even just for our own mental health. I'm gonna be serious with y'all on this. This is actually for the health of the whole industry,
Mhm.
because if the industry sees that we are picking up games like this so fast, that's why we're in the situation we're in now.
Right. Mhm.
We don't finish games. All they want is that surplus payment. If we actually take the time to finish these games like we should be, that means all these games are not getting bought as fast. So all these bad made games, they're at some point they're gonna be like, dang, well, people aren't buying games like they should, because they're finishing these games. So maybe
Right.
we could take a little more time on actually working on these games to to
Mhm.
ensure when these games do come out and they pick up our game, that they're actually a quality game. We don't have to worry about doing all the patching, the day one patching, the silly stuff that never
Right.
happened pre 7th gen. You like it's one of those things that we have to be conscious that, and I know people have told you this, but your mental health affects affects everybody else's health.
Oh yeah.
And that includes the gaming industry. So I'm gonna throw that out there. Just take it how you will.
Mhm.
If you like nonsense storm, I don't care. I'm still buying that game next week. Do what you do. I can't tell you how
Yeah.
to spend your money, but
I ain't
just
gonna lie. I was about to say I'm about to do that next week.
It's a valid point. It's a
yeah.
valid point
But it's
because
a
I mean,
valid point. Yeah.
yeah, it's a valid point because I mean, honestly, you know, you get that dopamine hit, and then also too, you know, you're interested in the game.
Hmm.
And you know, and sometimes even for myself, like you justify it in the sense of like, dag, if I don't get it now, I know I'm gonna forget it.
Yeah.
So by the time it comes back around, I'm not interested in this game anymore. And it's like, well, were you really interested at all in the first place? But yeah, I mean, it really comes down to you know, when you do purchase the game and it's like, okay, what stops you from completing it? Like there's been
Hmm.
games I purchased and I'm like, you know what, it's just not interesting anymore. Like it dies out or either it overstays its welcome.
Yeah.
But that's where I always kind of admire, as much as these games are the biggest culprits of problems within the gaming industry. That's why I admire those. It's like, yo, I got a console, and the only thing I'm playing is every 2K that show up and every Call of Duty that show up. Like, but they stay to one game and they commit to that game. So
Right.
the issues that a lot of us have is like, okay, we're invested in it. Like they go and they spend their money in that game. They play that game religiously every single day, if not, you know, once a week or whatever the case may be. But they're not
Mhm.
dibbling and dabbling in anything else. That's why when you look at the charts, the sports games are at the top of the charts. Like
Right.
every UK and US, now not in Japan, but at least in the UK and US, because people, hey, 2K, that's my game. College football, that's my game. Madden, that's my game. And Call of Duty, that's my game. Like they wait for the new one, and then really they don't even have to justify what's the reasoning as into getting the new one. It's just, this is my franchise. This is what
Yeah.
I play. So this is my game. And they stay with it until that new one pops.
Yeah. Yeah. Super that that's super facts. That's and it's weird too because that's like, I feel like we all got it bad, but like definitely the what do they call it? The niche gamers,
Mm-hmm.
they have it in the worst way, you know.
Yeah.
No difference between 24 and 25, but like the new roster and a gimmick, and you're like, I gotta put down 70 on that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got that's $70 worth, but it's
Mhm.
like, and then they, I think it's like 2 or 3 years, they kind of box you out of that corner, like,
Mhm.
oh, all these features don't work anymore, so you just need to buy the new one. Like,
Yeah. They do a
yeah.
good job. I mean, they do a great job at getting you
Mhm.
out of there. Because I mean, and let's be honest. Let's say, for example, using 2K as an example again. 2K25 just came out, and we had 2K24. The roster update should never stop going to 2K24. Like, granted, if those characters are not in the game, that's a little different. But if it's like really, you should be doing these trades, making that happen. But they have it worse with WWE 2K. It's been a while since I played WWE 2K, which I think the last one was 2K22. So it blew my mind that I had to go in there and make all of the changes, like the factions that are no longer together. Just kind of like different costumes or whatever case may be. Like, why do I have to do that? 2K, you should be updating this roster, but they don't do it.
Right.
It's so crazy, but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's something else. Oh, Squared. He said I hadn't put what I've been playing. I haven't put down what I've been playing yet, but I'm still playing Fortnite and Pokemon Go. Yeah, that's what's up. To your point about buying too many games, I haven't bought a new game this year at least, and that's what's up. That's what's up. Even Sparking Zero, because I don't have the platform for it, and I still haven't paid a penny for microtransactions from the live service game. Yeah, man, you on fire, bro.
But I mean, to his point, like Fortnite, that I've watched that thing be reborn, like
over and over.
And it's one of those things where at this point I look at it because I'm outside looking in. I'm like, what is Fortnite even anymore? Like, I've seen the Lego aspect of it.
Right. Like, I thought y'all were supposed to be like an arena shooter type deal. Like,
it's everything now. I mean, but it keeps people enticed, and like he said, you don't have to pay for anything. It's just play the game. Like, it's gotten so bad that I've looked at him like, you know what? I might jump into Fortnite again. Like, it's gotten to that point, but it just looks interesting. But I mean, kudos to you for sure.
Yeah. So,
I mean, hey, real talk though, I got to play devil's advocate, at least on my end. Like, for me, buying games, I'm still not finished with another one. For me, it don't affect me mentally. And there's actually gamers like me, where if they have this game, they don't got to go buy it later or whatever the situation may be. Or they're kind of like me where every week, what I say, I'm playing at least 10 games, right?
Right.
But I'm not saying that like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm playing 10 games because it's in my backlog and I got to get done with them. Like, honestly, in my mind, when I'm playing them, I'm like, I want to keep it going because it's stress relief. You know what I'm saying? It brings me into a whole different world. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my high. You know what I'm saying? That's what, you know what I'm saying, as far as like, but I do understand, like, when it comes down to like, with certain people and most of us, you know what I'm saying, I gotta complete this game or da. But like, really, like, who are you completing the game for? So I definitely get, you know what I'm saying, like what y'all are saying, especially like if you're not a streamer and you have all these games, who are you completing these games for? Or who are you buying these games for? Like, who are you trying to impress just to say that you have the newest thing? That's almost like buying J's and stuff like that. So I guess to kind of add on to what, you know what I'm saying, Sandstormer, you are saying, it's the same effect as far as trying to keep up with the latest trends, trying to get the latest J's and clothes and music and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, all that stuff's going to be, that like next week it's going to be null and void. Like, you know, like, nobody's going to know what that is, or like, man, we on to the next one. So, you know.
That's so funny you said. That's funny you said J's, because I know plenty of people who go out, who rush and go out buy J's. And may not even wear them one time.
Not once. Not once. I got a pair of J's I have not worn since I bought them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're in my closet, but that's because they're a color that I normally can't find something to match with. So I'm like, I literally just have them in there. I keep saying, oh, I gotta go on Nike and find like a suit, maybe, you know what I'm saying, to go with them, or somehow it's, you know, they'll have the color. But for the most part, people sit up here like I caught myself like for a minute, I was buying J's like every paycheck, or, you know what I'm saying, whatever the situation may be. And it got to the point where like, I'll see some new J's about to come out, and it's a dope color, and I know, all snap, I got something that can go with this, or I know how to put that
Right.
together, and I'll go and I'll be waiting. It's dropping this week. It's dropping this week. Talking to my homeboys, oh, it's dropping this week. I'm gonna get ready. I'm gonna get ready. And next thing you know, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, because that's when they drop. You know what I'm saying? 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm on the Nike site, and I'm trying to hit boom. You know what I'm saying? Like buy, and you're trying to rush trying to buy it. And there's people with bots, you know what I'm saying, that's already getting that before you even hit the button. So then it became like oh man. And then I started getting disappointed, and it kept happening over and over, to the point where I got mad like I was playing a video game.
Right.
Like if I was like somebody was beating me or something like that, like I'm getting beat, like the level's on hard right now. Like
Like my
Vegeta.
man's in that video that you sent me.
Yeah. Calling me. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? Like it got to that point, so I definitely get, you know what I'm saying, like it's mental health month, but that actually gets overshadowed sometimes, you know what I'm saying, with the breast cancer, by it being breast cancer month, which both situations are very, very deadly.
Yeah.
My mom, she had tumors and stuff like that. We have a history of breast cancer in my family.
Right.
So it's definitely a big situation. And some cancers are actually caused from mental situations and stress. So that all kind of they all kind of play together. You know what I'm saying? So mental health for everybody, you know what I'm saying? Because somebody I know right now is threatened with cancer right now. And I'm pretty sure a lot of it had to do with maybe some stressful situations and bad dieting and not exercising, you know, all the health situations. And, you know, it's a figure of mine that I look up to dearly, you know what I'm saying? And they have cancer, or could have cancer right now. So, and they're a male. So, you know what I'm saying? It really just kind of like hits home when all of that kind of like, hey, let's be aware of this stuff. Let's take care of yourself. Don't stress this. Don't put. So basically, Sandstorm, what you're saying, like to sum it up in a nutshell, you know what I'm saying? Relieve your stress, unnecessary stress. Do not put stress on you and baggage on you. Like Erykah Badu got that song called Bag Lady. People didn't really know what that meant. It sound good, but it means you're going to carry all these bags. You're going to carry all this stress with you, and it's going to weigh you down. It's going to tear you up. It's going to make you look older than what you really are. It's going to sit up here and literally physically kill you in some form of fashion. So definitely, you know, look out for that. But for those that, you know what I'm saying, like do have like we're not saying like don't buy your games and you know, get your stuff going. We're saying be cautious on how you doing it.
Yeah. Super facts.
Yeah.
So all right, let's get into our main topic.
Oh my God. Hold on, my bad. Dude just got his face mask just, oh my, that looked crazy. My bad.
Horror movie for a minute.
Right.
It was like his helmet was like that. Like dude, like his head was back there. I was like, wait a minute.
He got snapped. He got
I was like, ooh. Hey, real quick, Michigan State, we're up. I think we just scored another touchdown.
Okay.
So they're up. So it's 32-20. I was about to say Iowa had they had scored when you were doing your games and stuff.
Okay.
That you were playing.
Smooth.
It's like 52 seconds left, so we got that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, people don't know about that, man. We just looking for some wins. That's all. You know, new coach, new lifestyle. We just looking for a few wins.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say this before we jump right into our main topic too. We got basically a week left, and technically we got 2 weeks, but believe you me, Juice has been blowing up my DMs like, it's gonna be next week, huh? It's gonna be next week. They're gonna announce the switch through. It's gonna be next week, huh? Like,
hey, the next rumor says
that's touchdown. Oh, that mother. I'm sorry.
I said the next rumor says next Wednesday.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say. Next Wednesday is what the rumor says. And to be honest with you, even if it wasn't, even if that rumor never came out, it's got to be that Wednesday or Thursday or Friday that it happens, because outside of that, like, it
A
ain't
week, a
happening
month
after that.
done.
Yeah.
A month done at that point.
Yeah. So I'm hoping Nintendo don't let me down.
Hey, that's
But
what they're doing, you know.
right.
Because you can't predict when they're gonna do anything. They just kind of come out of clear blue sky. Like, what was it? What, just this past week, out of
Mhm.
nowhere. Hey, Orlando, finally gonna get, Super Mario World May 20 something. I'm like, okay, that was nice to know out of nowhere.
Right.
Like, we've been waiting, and it's like, oh, we're just gonna do a little secret drop on
Right.
to tell you. I'm like, all right, thanks.
Just so y'all have something to look forward to when y'all get out these hurricanes. It's gonna be there
Right.
for you. It's gonna be
Right.
there. Don't worry. Like, you're like, okay, so I guess nothing happens over in the Nintendo world with the hurricanes, huh? Y'all just unaffected like that. Okay.
Right. I don't know. So I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it'll be exciting because that's another thing too. Like, you get into the excitement, like seeing something new come, and then kind of have the idea centered around, like, what can this thing do? Like, what type of games am I getting? And I think that's always the love I have for Nintendo, like,
Mhm.
announcing their consoles, because I'm like, yeah, we all know every console is going to get games. That's kind of why, it confused me that people were so confused by Xbox One when they were talking about their media push. I'm like, it's got games. It's a gaming console.
Right.
But with Nintendo, I'm like, what am I doing different in these games? So that's always my excitement. So they could talk about it whenever, but whenever they do talk about it, it's just like, what's the new gimmick? Like, I want to see what you came up with, because your imagination goes places I couldn't even imagine sometimes.
Right. I want to see how that looks in a theme park aspect,
Yeah.
Give me the roller coaster for Mario Kart 8. That's all. That's all.
Crazy.
That's what I need to see. Yeah, so hopefully we get some news. I said the announcement. I didn't necessarily say that it was going to get shown off in
Right.
October. So even
They're
if the announcement was the 31st, huh?
You think they're gonna split it up?
Like they did before? Oh, well, okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's gonna get split up. I don't think you're gonna get the whole thing all at once.
Okay.
I
So, like,
think,
real, and then here's
yeah,
what it can do later on.
yeah, yeah. You'll get the whole price point and all that other stuff come after December and everything.
Right, because they got to get them switches out there first. So
Right. And I don't know. That's the thing that Juice has been dogging me on, is because Jamboree just came out. You know what I'm saying? Mario and Luigi Brothership or Brotherhood.
That's coming out next week, right?
Coming out next month.
Next month.
Oh, next month. Okay.
Yeah, it's like November 17th or something like that.
Yeah. So he's just like, ain't no way, and I'm just like, well,
But to that point, though, I think it's always the level of the game. Like, even though they advertise their games, we understand, like, even when the new consoles come out, a Kirby can show up and that console will still release around that Kirby game.
Right.
It's not like it's gonna hurt, especially if we're talking about backwards compatibility. I mean, you're still gonna be able to play the game.
That's what I said.
Release is gonna hurt it.
That's what I said. If it comes out before this physical or the end of the physical year for them, like, then all that means is the shipments that they were getting for Brotherhood in November just gonna move to whenever the Switch comes out. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you may not see that initial sale, but you'll see it further down with the new system, or you may still see it because there's a whole bunch of people out there with Switches in the first place. So it's just one of those things. It doesn't mean that the game itself is going to sell bad, or nobody's going to be out here buying it, or it cannibalizes their things. I've never seen a hardware cannibalize software, to be honest with you. So especially with one with backwards compatibility. So
because you know what you're getting. It's like, do I want to upgrade? Because really what you're waiting for is, like, do I want to get the console? Because let's say, for example, Brothership comes out, you still going to purchase it because it can play on the original Switch. But
Right.
then that's where your decision comes in of like, okay, do I sell my original Switch to get this new one because it makes that big of a difference? Or
Right.
do I just hold off until I feel like it's justifiable? Like you said,
Right.
hardware and software are not in the same conversation of what's cannibalizing what.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah. That's just a weird. But but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Juice could very well be right. He moved from December to January, I think. I think
late?
I think by that time it's a little late because now you're talking in the summer.
Yeah.
And to me, still, summer is the absolute worst time to drop
Worse.
a system. Everybody going on vacation and doing stuff and money getting put towards other things like that.
Hey,
Nah.
November, right after election.
Yeah, Vito said right after election. I don't mind that, to be honest with you, because that still leaves it before the summertime when it comes out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, depending on how you look at it, there's a lot of things that can, be used as a reason why they wouldn't show it. Like you said, software releases, the election, Black Friday, Christmas. Like, there's a gang of stuff at the end of the year that could really deter it if they were ever thinking about that. But we've always seen Nintendo does not care. But because they're gonna be the focal point.
Yeah,
They're gonna be the talking piece. I've never seen anything trump Nintendo. No pun intended. But it's like
right.
but it's that thing because when you hear, oh, we got a direct coming to show our successor, where everybody's gonna be.
Yeah,
What if Trump announced the Switch?
That would be
the Switch.
That would be horrible. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be horrible. I'd be like, Nintendo, what y'all doing? Don't get involved in that man stuff. Don't get involved in none of that stuff. Matter of fact,
I do good business. It's good all the time. This is the way.
Nintendo, I actually helped you come up with the successor. Like, no, you didn't.
No, you did. You liar.
Switch 2 was my idea. Switch 2 was my idea.
Right.
You want people to switch to the new console? Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
What does it do? What does it do?
Well, it does all types of things, sorts of things. You could just.
He would slide in his own campaign and make it sound look, and he'd be like, last time y'all had to deal with borders.
Yep.
But now, I would like to say that it is borderless, but we're adding more borders to the console.
Right.
Wait, we didn't want any bezels on this console.
We didn't want bezels on that. Yeah, Dark Boy.
Hey, look. Then he's gonna say the wrong character names. He's gonna like,
of course.
Wait. What could be a good character? He says.
He'd be like,
I play with Mickey Mouse all the time on Switch. Wrong. No.
Wrong thing.
No.
He'd be like, I like him. I like all my Black Latino American.
Mario is actually black.
Yeah. You all jump fast and run fast, and I like the way y'all run and jump.
Like you talk about a Switch, sir.
Right. He easily jumps over the walls.
Hey, but real talk. If he does promote that, he's going to be promoting the fact that you can play golf on it. So he's gonna be like Mario Golf. I play Mario Golf. I shoot a couple of holes. Biden could not see me in this.
Right. He was old. I told him it was his turn. He fell asleep while swinging.
He let the controller go and hit the TV.
Well, I tell you. But yeah, Dark Void, you got a point because them investors be on people behinds, boy. Like, hey, why you ain't saying nothing? We need money.
Yeah,
talk to me.
I don't know how well Nintendo plays with their own. Well, they play with their own investors. I don't know. I feel like the investors. I mean, I'm technically speaking, I'm an investor, but I ain't to that caliber. But I just kind of feel like if you an investor and you running with Nintendo and you really got that much invested, step back and shut up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, just ride it.
it's one of those things to where the way I look at it with the investors, like as an investor, you got like not only your investment into like Nintendo, I'm pretty sure there's got other things that's tied in. So people coming to you like, hey, when Nintendo releasing this thing so we can go and pay for this other thing?
Right.
I don't know. Like, let's go ask them, and then they're like, oh, we'll talk about when we talk about it.
Right.
That ain't enough because now I got to go tell this joker, like, I don't know. Like,
right. Again, you got to tell them again. I don't know.
Yeah,
Stop messing with me.
It's really tough. But I mean, honestly, whenever they do announce it, we know the stocks are gonna go up because people are gonna buy more stock into it. And I think one of the key things is whatever gets announced, because even with that rumor that just popped up at 4chan talking about Monster Hunter Wilds and Sparking Zero will make like a guest appearance. I don't even think Nintendo would ever put like they would, because I take it back, because Skyrim was on that first initial show, and then 2K was as well. So I mean, it might be a means of how like to showcase it, but I'm curious as to how they will creatively showcase that.
Yeah, that's true.
Like they're just gonna show up and like, oh, here's Sparking Zero and here's Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm like, okay, well, what makes this different from that? So
right.
It might. I mean, I'm just looking forward to the announcement because it's going to be a lot of YouTube channels getting created. I feel happy for Nintendo Prime. Jesus,
right.
I tell anybody, as much as like I agree with people that's annoying. Kudos to him to coming up with a video daily
to do that.
To chime in on it. Like, kudos to you, brother. If you can wear the same draws like
over and over and over again. Flip them inside out, turn them around.
He done repurposed them draws a few times. Like, that's crazy.
Oh my gosh. The videos were like, oh, Nintendo got something surprising to say today. What do they got surprising? Well, nothing. But
he go live with it too. So it's not even like it's a pre-recorded video. He go live. Because like the one he going off now is the sketch. That just popped up with the kickstand and a dock, and I'm like, okay, like,
and then they be like, it's all facts. There's got to be facts to it. There's got to be some validity to it. It's facts, and they go around in a circle and around in a circle and around in a circle, and then by the time you get to the end, you're like, damn, what did I really learn?
Nothing.
Like,
you do this already. It's like, like it happens every time a console releases. It is the nuttiest thing, but that also goes to show just how interested and how excited people are for the console. Of course, you're gonna have people that just live with hatred in their spirit, and they're like, "Well, we just want to see if it can compare graphically, so I can talk bad about it." But ironically enough, a compilation came across my feed on YouTube the other day of all the people that said that the Switch would fail. There were so many videos.
And
there was no like true justifiable like opinion. Like no one gave a good opinion. It was just either based off of Wii U stuff,
or purely off of Wii U
the graphic comparison, and it's like, okay, like, but it goes to show like and I don't want to blame this 100% on the internet and social media, but creativity is kind of dead with most people. I was talking to my fiance the other day, and I was like, a lot of people get on social media and say the things they say, not because they're malicious or they have any type of hatred. They genuinely think they're funny. And there's no one that tells you you're not funny. Like, that wasn't hilarious. And it's not that I'm upset with what you said. It's like, dude, you're just not funny. Because you're using the old 2000 humor that used to be a thing in like all those old 2000 movies that it just don't hit like that no more. You just don't have nothing to talk about, and you're not funny. Sit here and just digest the stuff like the rest of us.
That's why I be quiet on social media. I don't want nobody to be like, "Oh, you old dinosaur with them dinosaur jokes." Like,
If I comment on something, it's got to be something like I'm interested in.
It's really got to push me to say something.
Because I sometimes things like it get up under my skin. I'm reading, I'm like, why are you even? But I say, you know what? Never mind. It's not even worth it. Just
I just go ahead and look at the hit that side button that say not interested.
Oh yeah, 100%. There's been a lot that I've blocked.
I've done that a lot lately.
Yeah. Now people I've never communicated with, I've blocked them solely based off of whatever they posted.
Yeah. Yep. Super facts
Yeah.
on that one.
Yeah.
Square said I would say they could bring back motion controls for a Switch 2 version of Sparking Zero, but I'm not really sure. I guess it's just playing handheld and some consoles. I think where Switch 2 would separate itself really from the original Switch is if, and they don't have to solely do this, they could really stick to their guns with what they got from the Switch. But I really feel like pushing the motion. I agree. I feel like pushing the motion controls will definitely take it to a different level. Because we talking about, we still don't have like a Madden or anything like that, and to have that, just the controls are like being able to throw it. You know what I'm saying? That I think that would help a lot. Man, if they can bring back the light guns and all that to get the you know what I'm saying?
I mean, it will be on point. But my thing too with those is Nintendo make them because there are so many manufacturers that would make them, and you don't know which one's cheap and whatever it could be. But yeah, as far as like the motion control Sparking Zero, we had Budokai on the Wii, right?
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
Budokai 3. And you had to do the
Yeah.
So
Maybe, I mean, it'd be a fun thing to add. It wouldn't hurt.
I ain't gonna lie, that game is not, for me, out of my opinion, is doing all this.
Right.
I'm too locked in. I'm like, I am not finna. Yeah.
And it's gotta work.
Right,
If it doesn't work,
Yeah.
it's over. Because
if I mess around and wait, come on, go.
Yeah.
Pull it back. Yeah, if you don't pull it back, I'm about to throw this nunchuck.
but that one time you get it on point, you get the after image on somebody.
Oh yeah, it's gonna feel good. It's gonna feel good. But to your point too, one of the key things, and I think there's not a single developer or manufacturer that has figured this out, how to get the gamer out of his comfort zone. Like everybody's accustomed to just a standard controller. Even to the point of like, there, including myself, I don't care for L3R3. Like, I think that is just annoying as all get out. But I have gotten accustomed to the back triggers because coming with them, and it makes more sense to put buttons back there. But you get to get people out of that comfort zone of just sitting still, pressing the same buttons that they've always pressed, and not having to move around. That's VR's problem right now. Like, making people move. Like,
that's supposed to be the whole point of VR too, to make it move, right?
I mean, because even something as simplistic as, like I mentioned with Maestro, that's a shoulder and arm workout because you're just doing this the whole time and pointing and doing your arms up the entire time. So I mean, it is a little slight workout, but the fact that I got to stand up, I got to have the proper spacing, and I also got to like move. Like, people don't like that. They want to come in, sit down, kick them feet up, have something to drink on their side, put their controller in their hand, and just game.
That's why I think EA really missed the mark heavy after the whole Wii and Tiger Woods golf, because like that is probably the biggest way to make anybody actually that's literally the best way to play. Like, you are not going to play better with a controller than you are with that natural swing, just the natural motion of that. And I think it's virtual golf at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even have to go out to like, it's virtual golf. So I think having those controllers, especially with the Switch, like, that was a huge missed opportunity on a lucrative money right there, is to not have whoever's the big name right now doing the golf thing. So it's
2K is right.
2K and EA do golf.
Okay.
I think that would have been a huge one for them. It's cool.
Go ahead. And I was just saying, like, right now it's all VR with that, because the hands clap, the people that made the golf game on PlayStation, Everybody Golf.
They have
a golf game on VR that's really good. when it comes down to football, NFL,
Pro.
Pro.
Yeah.
They just did 2K25, but the thing is, now they're going to an upgrade system. They're not releasing a version every year anymore. They're now saying, okay, if you bought the first one, or if you bought the second one, then you pay like a little small price to upgrade, and the upgrade gives you defense. So that was like the new added thing. But they pretty much are now like, okay, from here on out, we're gonna give you upgrades, and then you just pay for little things here and there, but we're not selling the whole game anymore. But
That's
now
smart.
you have offense and defense, and like I said, you're throwing, you're tackling, like they missed the window, but it's
That would be crazy. You come home, you see somebody trying to, and they fall over.
YouTube videos. They don't do them anymore. Like it's like people stopped doing it after the Quest 2. But yeah, I need to see them videos. I need somebody to tear something up trying to tackle people for real.
Real talk. I'll have one of them dummies. You know them little dummies that we have for like little practice dummies and stuff. And you do. I would have had that right there. So I'm like, yeah, here we go.
That's I show speed stuff right there. He would be crazy enough to do it.
That's for real.
They missed it, but even then, we've talked about this on the Winging It podcast. There is a wide open field on Nintendo. There's not a football game on Nintendo. There's not a golf game outside of Mario Golf on Nintendo. There's not a wrestling went somewhere else because how they released that. So wrestling is not there. And then there's no first person shooter on Nintendo like a Call of Duty. Wide open. They just choose not to do it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Brand Smith said there was a 2K PGA Tour 21 on Switch. I'm just about to look at the reviews for that, because if there's motion controls, I'll definitely pick that up so quick.
PGA Tour 2K. I'm gonna look at it on YouTube. I'm always on here anyway. So Switch. Let me see. Motion controls. Possible.
Yeah, if they got motion controls, I'm all over that.
Nintendo Switch, 13 minutes. So this game explain. I don't know if he's gonna say anything about motion control, because that's the one thing about golf games too. You don't necessarily have to go get the latest and greatest, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know too many golfers. So as far as that, as long as the game runs good, like, I really don't care.
Because when it comes down to it, like, I couldn't tell you the last time. What up, Morbid Details? Over on Instagram, he says I had the retired Nintendo after GameCube. Are you missing out? They need a Metroid or Zelda game using Unreal Engine 5. Then I might be sold on Nintendo again. You threw me off. You threw me all the way off. The one of the greatest games out, period, is dang, you threw me so far off I can't even remember the name. Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom is over the top, bro. So if you haven't played it, I would check out the gameplay before you just assume that Unreal will solve all problems. And as far as Metroid, I need to. Okay. How about this? Let me tell you this, bro. Go look at Metroid Prime 4, right? That's the latest one that we had. Go look at Metroid Prime 4. Do that. Do that, and then come back to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll answer your question. No motion control.
No motion? What?
You want motion control? You got to go Mario Golf.
That's wild. That is so wild. How do you? I don't understand. I feel like that should be default. You know.
I mean, there's a lot of things that should be default with some of these developers, and they just opt not to do it. I'm telling you, laziness is disgusting.
Dark Boy, if they did a tennis game, I'm not even about to ask Jack to go see if it's in motion control. Because if the golf ain't in motion control, then it ain't no way. It ain't no way.
What tennis game would be? Because the 2K tennis just came back. Top Spin just came back, so I know it's not on Switch. Is it? Hold on, Top Spin.
Only tennis game they got is
Mario
Switch Sports, man.
And Mario, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
Mario, yeah.
Yeah, there is no Top Spin. No, Top Spin's not on the Switch. I figured it wouldn't be. Games on.
That's crazy.
Yep. And then I'm surprised. I'm curious to see who jumps on this because they've already doing it on the VR side, but who on console side gonna jump on this pickleball train?
Oh.
Yeah.
All
'Cause
the
that's
range.
really moving. Yeah.
It really is.
I just drove past on my way home. It was like 8:30, so it's dark. You know what I'm saying? And and it's a whole pickleball tournament out in an apartment complex with all the lights on the
Bruh.
tennis court. And I'm like, what?
We got. Remember when we used to play tennis?
Mm-hmm.
And we used to go up to like the Western joint where they had like gyms of tennis gyms of like you know what I'm saying, like for the tournament.
Yeah.
Dude, they got this one like it's by the Mall of Georgia. It's literally a big old, almost like a warehouse outside, and it's straight up pickleball stuff. Like they have pickleball courts all through there. Then a little further down from the Mall of Georgia, in their new little like there's like a shopping center or something like that. They have a pickleball, dining pickleball type thing. It's weird as heck. Like you eat and play pickleball outside or inside. So it's like it's crazy as heck. Like pickleball is it's up there, man.
It's popping.
up
Like
there.
It's
my
wild.
coworkers are like, man, I got to go get this brand new paddle. It's like $100+, you know, because it's got a better swing or better hit to it. Like, I'm telling you, like, I hate to put it on one type, but I mean, white people around me is eating like
They're getting it. Yeah, they're getting it.
Yeah. Yeah.
like the fact that T-Mobile released like this, you got like a free pickleball paddle. If you were with T-Mobile, people rushed T-Mobile to get that T-Mobile pickleball paddle. It's nuts. I said, hey,
what's the other game that's like table tennis or whatever like that, but it's like a
Ping pong?
no, it's like it's almost like soccer. Like you got to kick it. Like you can't hit it. Like you got to kick that joint.
Yeah. So I
Foosball?
saw So what he's talking about, I've seen it pop up a few times, but they have a table like table tennis, but they're using
But it's curved.
soccer ball and it's curved.
Oh, yeah. They do like
yeah.
real tournaments and they be
Yeah.
really getting it. I'm like, yo, wait a minute.
We have a gym down there for that too. Like they're popping up. Like these things are popping up out of nowhere, bro. So it'll be right for one of these councils to get right on that.
Hold on, y'all. Let me handle my Instagram side because he's going crazy. He said Prime 4 looks decent, needs more from them. He said seems too similar to the previous Prime installment. It's just better graphics. Okay, cool. Now what I want you to do, because you said that you feel like they are too repetitive, and I'm assuming you're talking about Zelda. Go look up Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Just you don't even have to look at like the trailer. Just go look at gameplay because the game
gameplay has like Japanese characters as the content creator, and that'll get you what you need.
Yeah, because Nintendo is like, to be honest with you, if you really haven't been in the gaming space, Nintendo is really owning the gaming industry right now. Like after Breath of the Wild, everybody wanted to make a Breath of the Wild. After Tears of the Kingdom, everybody's trying to make a Tears of the Kingdom.
They're trying to figure. They ain't made it yet. They're trying to figure that out.
Yeah, they running with it right now.
Until I see somebody go through a roof, they ain't figured it out yet.
Yeah,
because like when you get to swimming and stuff, yeah,
right?
If somebody ain't going, somebody ain't going through a roof. You ain't beam me up, Scotty. Y'all ain't got it
yet. He said, "No, I know my homie put me on Zelda is cool and all, but feels like the previous Zelda just added features and new fun. I mean, that's what what Tears of the Kingdom was, though. Like it originally was a DLC that just became so big that they just made another game out of it.
Right.
But even still, to that fact, that Zelda Tears or Breath of the Wild is nowhere near the previous
You're not
Zelda.
doing half the stuff in Breath of the Wild that you do in Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Like, look for what they can be, but when you talk about gameplay, I think that's the
right.
A lot of this stuff. Like when you try to eyeball what a game is, that's where you get messed up.
If you think you're gonna do all the stuff you do in Spider-Man that you're doing in Zelda, you're not. Like
not even close.
you could climb anything, you can build anything, you can go about a different way of beating the game. There's just so much stuff in that game that's just that people in that play Breath of the Wild are still figuring out in Breath of the Wild. And that game is now a 7-year-old game, 8-year-old game. So it's gameplay and functionality wise, that game is way different. I'll check out the link though. I will check out the link. Unfortunately, can I pin this comment? Oh no, I can actually. Yeah, let me copy this real quick. Let me see what you're talking about. I can do that. I can do that and talk at the same time. That's how great I am. Oh man. Oh no. You're not showing me this kind of stuff. Nah. Don't. I'm gonna say this right now. Don't do my man's Mario like this. Don't do my man's Mario like this. You want to see this? I'll put this on here because this is nowhere as even though this is like pretty looking, this ain't nowhere near Mario Odyssey. Don't do my man's like this. Don't treat him like this.
Yeah, every time I see these, I'm like, do y'all really
What is that?
realize what y'all looking at?
What is that?
It's Mario.
No, I
can't. Unreal Engine 5. Like that's no.
I can't imagine a Zelda game like this because what you making up for in this is what you missing. What you think you getting is not what you getting. Because right now you just watching him go down a path. Is he going outside the path?
Right.
Interact. Look at how the Goombas is.
Yeah, I don't like the slow walk either. Like no.
Yeah, like he looked all extra stiff. Like nah, G.
And even if you want to look past the movement, because this is somebody else doing it, like a fan project, but trying to make this realistic, gritty look is still some of the laziest game design that we still have today. Like most of the games that have been showcased in almost all events so far, it's been this doom and gloom. Like I'm mad at the world, and that's why I asked Jay the other day. I was like, "Are most of the developers depressed because they make these doom and gloom games?" Like,
okay. Let me tell you this. Because we don't have this.
Hey, rewind that because this slow mo look crazy. Because
let me tell you this. I'm gonna say this because you said something about graphics, and I'm about to keep it real on you. So he said, take the Zelda world and update it with these graphics and what I'm saying. So graphics are only relevant.
Is that blood on them?
Yes.
Yeah, apparently.
No, that's not how that works, man. Nah.
So graphics is only relevant to the now. You know what I'm saying? Like the reason why Nintendo games are so timeless is because they don't spend their time trying to work on what is quote unquote realistic graphics, and really that's just an art texture. It has nothing to do with the capabilities of the system. Correct. Like look at Wind Waker. If you look at Wind Waker on GameCube, look at Wind Waker on Wii U, like those games are timeless. Why? Because cell shading is a timeless art style.
And apparently it's a hard thing to do. I didn't know it was that difficult.
Oh yeah. And blending and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know how tough Okami would actually be? Like the painted brush art style and trying to blend on, like that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work.
Because when you look at everybody making these with even like Pokemon, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, when I'm the type of gamer to where I look at like how they did Mario Wonder. Even when you look at something like Mouse PI, that's creativity. Like Cuphead, when people showed it and it was all hand drawn, that's creativity. Mm-hmm. Everybody go like you said, Brand Smith. Everybody going for that Unreal Engine trash because it's like, oh, it's realistic. It looks great, but then it don't hold up.
No, no, it don't. Like the original Red Dead games, Red Dead Revolver, Red Dead Redemption, like they don't hold up.
That's why they got to remake everything Horizon Zero.
Right. like some of those games, especially the colorful games, those games last a whole lot longer because of the art style. The art style lasts a whole lot longer. Mm-hmm. He said, but you can have high level of detail and still have the cel shaded art style. Right, you can. And there's plenty of those. There's plenty of those games on the Switch. Like it's one of those situations. And I know you. I think. I won't say I know you have, but I think you probably been out of the gaming loop in a while. The two systems that are supposed to be miles and miles ahead of the Switch are not the systems that are miles and miles ahead of the Switch on sales, because people are starting to get tired of that same old. Like those 100 million, 200 million budgets that they have, like that ain't working anymore. That's not flying anymore. Like this, I would really like to know what the number is for the Switch now.
Yeah, they'll update it pretty soon, but
they're right there on being the greatest console sold of all time. Like right there, sales. I mean, console sales and software sales. As a matter of fact, the software sales for the Switch is like
ridiculous,
unheard of. You know what I mean? Like all of their franchises is 1 million plus, and a lot of those franchises are 10 million plus, and quite a few of those franchises are 20 million plus. Like it's ridiculous, man. He said, and you don't need, and I want to say this too, because I think there's a misconception about Unreal Engine 5. Unreal Engine 5 is a engine that is sellable to everybody. Correct. It is not the greatest engine out there, and a lot of times, especially with Nintendo, they make their own engines. Correct. They make in-house engines. So if you ever played, and as a matter of fact, a lot of those in-house engines, especially for the Switch now, came from Monolith. So Monolith has ran all those engines. So you looking at Breath of the Wild. Wait, let me take it back. You looking at Xenogears or Xenoblade. You looking at Xenoblade Chronicles X. You looking at Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, the Pokemon games, Mario Odyssey. Like all of that stuff came from those engines. So like when you talk about engines, it's not that Unreal just has the best graphics. It's just a general tool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, because it's the only engine outside of Unity that's free.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, well, Unity is not free anymore because I think they start charging, but yeah, Unreal Engine's free, so everybody runs to it. And I know there are Nintendo games that have Unreal Engine because I think Yoshi used Unreal Engine.
Unreal Engine,
but for the most part, like Sandstorm saying, like Nintendo uses their own thing. But yeah, I think honestly, and like I said, I don't know who it is that you're talking to on Instagram, but for the most part, people only speak about the things that they constantly hear about. So I mean, it's like Unreal Engine they always hear about. They always see the realistic graphics, and people know the Decima engine from Sony. Like, yeah, that's just what people talk about. But in all honesty, there's a lot of engines out here that don't get mentioned or don't get named, that get utilized. It's just Unreal Engine is the most accessible one. And honestly, I haven't seen too much of anything turned out fantastic from it. But I'm interested to see what Microsoft does with Halo. Because that's going to Unreal Engine.
Right, that's going to be interesting. I'll say this too, and I apologize to everybody who's on my YouTube and Twitch side because y'all can't see the Instagram side. But he said, and see, a lot of the stuff that you're saying is like all misconceptions. Like these are popular misconceptions. So I'm glad I can be able to tell you so you can know too. But he said, think of the age demographics they need to appeal to more people. Go back. I'm going to do this. I'm not even going to tell you. Go back to October 21st, the Nintendo Switch reveal. And tell me how many kids you see in that trailer. Tell me how many you see of them in the trailer. What you're talking about is you think that they're talking about a lot of the younger demographics. And actually, as a matter of fact, this year is legitimately the first year that I've heard Nintendo have a commercial with a younger demographic, and it was only an audio commercial. It wasn't even a video of them having a younger demographic in one of their commercials because they've geared the Switch towards the adult this whole time.
But that's so amazing to me of how marketing works. Like I can look at something, see that it's interesting. And even if it had kids in the marketing, I will still appeal to it. Like I don't. Marketing is amazing because it's all a mental thing, and it baffles me how the mind truly works. Like the fact that you have to mention, oh, there's a whole bunch of adults in the commercials because that's what people utilize as a means of is it for me?
Yeah,
right. Did you not see that Does that not look
Right.
like
Right.
you had to see adults in it for it to make it interesting to you?
Right.
That
Give it to him.
He said, no, I'm saying feel like they appeal to a large. Let me put it to you this way. I just told you that the Switch is in the headhunt for the greatest selling system of all time, right? Now keep this in mind. Keep these 3 things in mind. The Switch does not have Grand Theft Auto 5.
at all.
It does not have not one, but any Call of Duty games on it.
Correct.
Mhm.
No man.
And no Madden whatsoever.
Mm-mm.
And it has managed to hit all the demographics.
There
Like
you go.
so appealing to a larger demographic means nothing to Nintendo when you can sell New Horizons, or is it New Horizons? No, New Leaf. Is it New Leaf? Yeah.
No. He's about to pass
Animal Crossing.
Wasn't it just called Animal Crossing?
No. It had a sub name under there.
I
Well,
guess.
put it this way: you could sell an animal. You could sell an Animal Crossing game in the year of COVID, 2020. Yeah, 2020, in the middle of COVID,
Yeah,
and it sell 40 million units. That's unheard
that's
of.
unheard of. And then the excuse that people were using didn't even make any sense because it's not like other games didn't drop. They
Right.
didn't sell as well.
Right.
But it's New Horizons. Yeah, you're right.
He said, yeah, but look at the world though, like outside of the United States, who is playing Call of Duty Matter. You can't move the goalpost, my guy. You
And that's the
can't
thing.
move
That's another thing too. Like you'll never hear me talk about like Japan and UK. I don't live there. I don't know what they like and what they don't like. Like the numbers will tell you only so much. I really don't know. So if I'm talking US, then yeah, I know what we're talking about. But even if you look at the UK, I think somebody posted the numbers because they were doing the Sony Xbox fanboy crap again, and that was majority sports. Like if you go to the UK, is FIFA or football club now. If you and then also football here and there. I mean, Japan has the most variety.
right.
And then here in the US is predominantly Call of Duty and sports too.
Right. And that,
But even with that, those games being the top sellers on the charts, Nintendo's in there somewhere.
right.
And then also they're outselling everybody. So if I don't have none of the top 5, but I still outsell you, that tells you something.
And wait, hold on. And usually if it's a different game that's outside of Nintendo, they're being sold on multiple consoles.
There you go. My game is on one console and I'm right there under you and you sell on everything including PC. Come on now. And you're not even on mine? Like that speaks volumes, because that's the thing too. When we talk about evergreen games, there's a lot of games that once you get those initial sales, that's it until a sale shows up.
Yeah.
Nintendo keeps that bad boy at 60
all the time. Yeah, all the
now,
time.
you're gonna get a holiday sale here or there, but when we talk about like the real like official price, it stays at a standard price and it still continues to sell.
Yep. It's ridiculous. Like the 2 games that's still stuck on there is, well, I mean, there's plenty of games that are still stuck on there, but the 2 that is prominently that will keep bumping back up to the top, Tears of the Kingdom and Mario Kart 8. Ain't nothing selling like Mario Kart 8. You can forget about it.
Bro, if that's the effect that Breath of the Wild had for the Switch, this new Mario Kart could have for this next Switch. Like if they say day 1, we giving you Mario Kart, whatever they want to call it, and
it's over,
and it's dropping day 1, it's a wrap, because now you're giving it the entire generation to breathe.
It's over.
You're giving it the entire generation to breathe, because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came out the first year of the Switch, correct?
Yeah.
Yep. So it just didn't come out like day 1, but still, like if
and
you
then
say,
they gave the deluxe piece the
man, you let that game breathe a whole, like we're about to see exactly what happened with Zelda. Like there were more Zelda games that sold than the Switch because people were buying double or even buying like the collection of the game, but it can go into that territory. There's not a single Sony and Microsoft game that can do that. Not one. And for like people that are posting like, oh, they just rehash the same IP. No, that's called developing your IP. Like there's not one Mario game that's the same. Like Galaxy is nothing like Sunshine, nothing like Wonder, nothing like Odyssey, nothing like Super Mario Brothers U, Paper Mario. Like they make it creative. And it's only so anybody that says it's one and the same, they just don't play it. They just look at it and it's like, oh, it's just Mario.
Oh yeah, it's Mario. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish they would use their other IPs because they only use the same ones and just do the same thing. But do they though?
They release a new IP every generation. Like y'all just play them. Now some of them are not like super big because I think it was this dang, I forget what the name of the game was, but it's like this moving game. That's their IP. They released that. I always talk about ARMS,
Sushi Strikers.
Like
Splatoon is on their third one now.
Yeah.
Exactly. People don't realize that's a new IP. Like they may be on their third one, but this is a brand new IP. You got
they jumped on arena shooters when arena shooters were hot and changed up how they were going to go at it originally.
Because I remember when I came on, that was the only time I was like really shining because you had people that was like, oh, I'm gonna give it a try. That was so custom, like, oh, I'm gonna shoot people. Shoot me all day. As long as my walls painted,
you still gonna lose.
A different concept. Like,
hey, is there a way to talk to people like on when you go online with that? Because I be trying to tell people like, hey, look, I'm gonna paint. You go get them. Like
you can do. I think it's only like a directional button or something like that. Yeah, I think they do that. I think they do that on purpose, though.
Yeah, they said they did. But I mean, we used it though. Like it was. I remember when I started playing Splatoon. I think there was either 1 or 2, and we got to a point to where I think once everybody saw what was happening, we just kind of picked up on it. So we got to a point in the level to where anytime they were respawning and jumping over that wall, we was ready to light their behinds up every time. We just kept okay, our back is straight. All right, cool. Now we just rolled them up. But everybody picked up on it, even with like just the 4 buttons that you have to say what you got to say. This is kind of pick up on cues sometimes. But yeah, I think they stopped doing that because that's one thing I'll give Nintendo. Like, take it kids out of the picture, like, because they promote to everyone. So if I'm playing this game, one of the key reasons why my son was off of these type of games for a long time, like the Call of Duties or whatever, outside of just the nature of people be up there talking reckless. And it's like, yes, I hear that there's a mute function, but what if I actually want to talk to the people so for us to strategize? But then I got this person that's on our team that don't want to do that, and he talking reckless, and then now it's a whole thing. So, I mean, you have to parent other people, and it's sad, but at this time and age, it is what it is. Where if you want to play with randoms, because let's be honest, like even with me knowing y'all, everybody got different schedules, everybody plays games, so we don't really have that time to link up and go and jump on something on a like daily basis or anything like that. So you got to play with randoms a lot of the times, and that's just where you fall. And if people could just
don't like to talk like that.
And then also too, when you go back to mental health, right? A lot of people, like even for myself, it took me a minute to jump on multiplayer because I'm an introvert. So it's like I'm on there, and I have people like, oh, you ain't gonna talk, you ain't gonna do. I'm like, nah, I'm sitting here with mute, bro. Like I don't just talk to people,
right?
Well, I don't do.
I'm an extrovert, and I don't really talk to people like that because it'll throw me off if you say something crazy, and just because I'm a deacon don't mean I'm not real. But you say something crazy to me, I'm gonna be like, nah, I'm gonna go back to my single player. Like if somebody talked to me reckless in my single player game, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
That's why I stayed away from Call of Duty for so long. Like I don't have an issue like outside of the fact that I suck, but it's it's one of those things to where you want to get invested, and then you just got people just talking reckless,
crazy,
and you can't get to them. So it is what it is, and you start realizing, and I think like this is the first iteration like my son had. Like whenever somebody said something reckless, and plus his name was something off the wall, like on some pedophile type stuff, right? But it's a kid he go to school with. So but it's like I said, most people do not know funny. They just see like what they see and like, oh, somebody was laughing at it, so they just digest it. So when you're playing, you see a lot of like usernames that went to like diddler this and baby oil that, because it's the new thing that's happening in social media right now. So I'm like, who is that? And he's like, oh, that's such and such at school. But the thing
Oh,
is, it's
wow.
like the little boy, like he don't even know how to properly talk to people like in person. So when he
Right.
gets on, it's just whatever he's heard, he's just spewing it out. And
Mhm.
that's the problem. And most of them do not know how to communicate or even nervousness. So it's like, I'm gonna just say the first wild thing and see if I can get a laugh.
Yeah.
But it's so
Yeah.
crazy.
I know how that goes. Yeah, and that's unfortunate. That's the biggest problem I have with people online is that
Mhm.
I can't be bothered with that stuff. Morbid Detail said I don't mind talking mess. I play OW, help me out what that is, and they be going wild on there.
Overwatch.
Oh,
Overwatch. Okay. Yeah, I can imagine. I don't
My
play
thing is
Overwatch.
this. I love the competition aspect of it. If you're on there like, yo, I'm getting in you, whatever, pause. Like, if you're doing
Mhm.
all of that, cool, that's fine.
Mhm.
But when it gets into the slurs and it gets into
Mhm.
FUs, and why are we even here
Right.
in the game, dude?
Because you
Like,
Right.
can't find them.
Right.
You ain't in their face. They ain't gonna
You
say
want to
that stuff to
hide
your
behind
face.
that keyboard. Yeah.
Yep.
He said they're unhinged. Dark Voice said, well, I was in Japan last week for my vacation. And
Yeah.
most games I saw were Nintendo games, JRPGs everywhere, baseball and anime games. Yeah. Super
I'm-
facts.
Mhm.
He said, when I was on the subway, I mostly saw people playing Switch or mobile games.
yeah.
Bet you wasn't they wasn't playing no Portal though.
Oh, you definitely ain't playing no Portal. Now they got the
Of course
infrastructure
not.
to cater it.
And they got
but-
right. And they got the infrastructure
That's
for
why I
it.
said like sales numbers don't really say
Come
everything.
here.
And that's
Mhm.
key things too that a lot of people keep forgetting. Like them doggone bots and
Mhm.
people that's out here reselling, they're kind of messing with these numbers quite a bit.
Yeah.
And like we saw, like with the Pro, like that's already up for sale on eBay for $3,000.
Really?
That's
Yes.
wild. Yeah.
Wait. You said 3,000?
3,000.
Oh no.
Thousand.
You know, and that's sad because I feel like they really tripping, especially when it's not sold out yet. Like you tripping.
Not even available. Like that's the thing part about it.
What are you doing there, cuz?
You selling a promise, dude. Like,
Which one though? Which one? 'Cause there is one that it is.
anniversary edition of the Pro.
That is sold out right
Yeah,
now.
that's the sold out one.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they didn't make too many of them, but
They
yeah,
did. They did.
yeah, that's gross. That's gross, man. You can't be doing nothing like that. So real quickly, because I know we don't have that much time left. Yeah, Dark Voice said it. Georgia won, so good job. Real quickly here, the massive leaks from Nintendo and Game Freak. I know this has been talked about all week about what came about with
I haven't
this.
even seen like all of it because I know a lot of
So-
content creators I watch
so
have
fill-
kept some of it
Fill
out.
me up, because like I don't pause. I don't know what happened. So
So
what's been
apparently,
happening all week?
there was a data breach. And oh yeah, you're more than welcome to come morbid details. He said you good. He said let me hop on the but you're more than welcome to hop on the podcast, man. Anytime, yeah. Like come on through. I feel like you were on the podcast anyway before. It might have been a long time ago, but you were definitely in the podcast with us, and I think it was with Brendan too. I think I have both of y'all on, but yeah,
Oh, wrong
yeah.
side. Wrong side. Y'all
But
see it.
anyway,
Y'all see it.
yeah.
Texas
So apparently there was a data breach.
Mhm.
Somebody working for I want to say Game Freak
Mhm.
had their stuff infiltrated. Pause, and it just like it just got crazy on all the stuff that came out. A whole bunch of pause again. A whole bunch of Pokemon leak stuff has been leaked as far as like their next generation, like what that's been codenamed and where they're looking to kind of drop that. Pokemon, is it AZ or ZA?
Yeah. Mhm.
Has been talked about. There was a bunch of code that was apparently in like the old games that were coming, and then they decided not to. There was a Detective Pikachu game or movie, a second one that was supposed to come out, and that it sounds like it kind of silently got canceled, but we don't know for sure. There's another Pokemon game that's coming out that sounds like it may be a fighter, but we ain't all in on whether that's Pokken Tournament 2 or not.
I doubt it, especially after what just happened with Bandai Namco.
Yeah. And really, to be honest, I said Massive League on Nintendo, so that was me trolling y'all because I think the only real thing that we got, correct me if I'm wrong, is the confirmation of the Switch 2 code name. So
yeah, and then like it was like kind of hinting at like the 10th gen is gonna be sold a little different. So like there's gonna be a Switch version, and then there's gonna be a Switch 2 version.
Yeah.
So there's not gonna be just like, oh, here's the Switch 1 version, and it just works over here on the 2. Like they're doing 2 different versions.
Yeah, which makes it kind of interesting. Like, does that mean it's not backwards compatible?
Well, I think it'll be backwards compatible. I think, and it sounds scummy, but I think what Game Freak's getting ready to do is like, hey, we're gonna give you this game on the Switch. Yeah, it may run a little bit better than Scarlet and Violet, but if you want what we've been promising you, like a smooth open world Pokemon game, Switch 2. Because I don't think it's at that. I'm pretty sure, and even though like people toss it around as if it's like a super simple, just press a button thing, I don't think you can.
It's not.
It's like DLSS and everything works. So I think to avoid having to do that kind of work, they just made a game dedicated for that console and one for the Switch that they've already been working on. So that's what the leak mentioned. Like there's still the 2 versions, but there's 2 on Switch and 2 on the Switch 2. Or Ounce, excuse me, or OZ or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got that they got that stuff, you know what I'm saying? They got the ounce, you know what I'm saying? You buy the ounce, you can't get nothing less, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean that's where it was. And then outside of like the personal stuff that got released, for the workers, so they had to notify them. But outside of that, I never understood why people do this. Like this has to be the dumbest thing you can ever do. Now, granted, the people that hate Pokemon, supposedly they were just in up in arms of just hooray, something bad happened to Pokemon as if it's going to improve them games. But it I don't know, man. Like I'm curious to see what happens. See what comes from this. But really, it wasn't anything crazy from the gaming front. I mean, it's not like it showed us what the 10th gen looked like or what it was going to be called. It was all code names. So
yeah, it was code name Gaia. So I mean, like that, we were going doing some Greek related thing, like it really.
Name Gaia?
Huh?
Who?
Is there a Pokemon
named Gaia?
I think so. No. Okay. I mean, it's 1,000 plus of them. So
I mean,
one of them gonna be named Gaia sooner or later.
I mean, maybe that's the name of the new Pokemon that
Which one?
Like if they do Generation 10, is it going to be Gaia and Chronos? Or some sort of form of them? You know what I mean?
Gaia and Chronos.
Word.
But
I mean,
Chronos as in Zeus's father.
Yeah, Gaia as in Zeus's mom, or the mom, isn't she?
It depends on what legend you're referring to.
So now
it varies.
We're taking care of humans now.
Yeah, like the mother. Pokemon is weird like that. You know what I'm saying? They'll have the first created Pokemon ever being Mew, and he be the strongest, and then they be like, well, no, we got Arceus. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like he's
crazy.
Right.
Like Mewtwo was that dude, and they be throwing him quick. It took all his power away. It reminded me of like Dragon Ball Super. Like when you saw Hit, it's like, oh man, Hit about to be the one. And then Jiren showed up like, wait a minute, like Hit time was all of like 2 minutes. Now he just a regular dude. Like,
they be going crazy like that. You know what I'm saying? You got the trio of birds, but now you got the trio of dogs.
Which I mean, that's still my favorite generation. But I'm like, I preferred the dogs over the birds. Like it was,
yeah.
It was so stupid. I don't know why they did that.
Like, and from that point on, almost every Pokemon has a trio of something.
Right. You're gonna start having like Pokemon and human infusions after a while.
Oh gosh,
That's gonna be disgusting.
that
But hey,
you yeah, it's gonna be the worst. They're like, oh,
Mm,
you know, like we
yeah.
need to fuse together in order to fight. You know,
How does that fusion even work? Like,
in
why would they-
armor. You know what I'm saying? They gonna put them in armor. You know what I'm saying? Give me the
it better
Charizard
be
armor.
because I'm telling you, if it gets so close to breeding stuff, yeah, that's gonna be a problem legally. Like, y'all out here breeding with Pokemon? Like, y'all disgusting. Like, all right.
DNA fusion.
Right.
Yeah,
That-
y'all run out of ideas. Go
They
sit
got
down.
the helix just unraveling and two ravel together. Yes.
Yeah,
Oh.
like third eyes and cock eyes. Like, yeah, because this isn't supposed to work. Like,
You know
like,
who's
that's
gonna
saying
get.
is incest. This shouldn't work.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you know who gonna get the worst of it? Anybody who evolved from a gold duck. You know what I'm saying? Like, the web feet and everything.
And then the headache come out of
Oh,
nowhere.
yeah,
You're
I got it. Like, yo, what is going
gonna
on?
get the worst of it.
Whose idea was this? This sounds like some Family Guy type stuff, but like, whose idea was?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Dark Voice
Have Lois
said,
Blair?
Dark Voice said in God of War, Zeus' mom was Rhea, and Kronos was the father. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, like you said, there wasn't a whole lot of things that like really kind of was like, oh dang, they in trouble. Something super big leaked, but it was like gigabytes worth of data, right? Or terabytes worth of data. Yeah. So it wasn't like anything small, but I'm having a feeling that like most of the stuff that was actually leaked was stuff that was in relation to developers and stuff like that, more so than it was like the actual stuff. Let's see. It says the code names for two versions of the 10th generation games are part of the leak, which is K and N. And obviously, there's a cajillion words that could be K and or N,
Right.
which relate, right, which may relate to Nintendo's intention to release it for both Switch and the successor as a cross-gen title, which was once again Ounce. Pokemon game codename Synapse is also reportedly mentioned. This unannounced game is said to be co-developed with another studio, with reports indicating it is some sort of Pokemon MMO. And that's one right there is actually one that I would not mind playing. I mean, because when you think about it, we're in so many generations now, right? And yet we still have not gotten to the point where we could go back to the other islands. Like whenever.
I'm curious as to why they still haven't done this. Like there should have been an existing MMO that runs alongside these console games. Like the same way Final Fantasy 14 continues to run. Like it doesn't stop that game from operating and being played.
Right. Yeah, I have no clue. And I think maybe after the sales of how these Pokemon games have been selling, maybe that's probably an indication of like, okay, we can actually do something like that. And realistically, I think that's healthy. I think that's overall healthy for them. And at this point, it doesn't really take away from them, right? Because
it doesn't. No.
Because if you think about it, if you leave both the MMO and the actual like Pokemon series separate in ways, you can constantly update the Pokemon MMO as is without having to add the generations and stuff like that. Or if you eventually want to, some years down the road, to give them the extra Pokemon, that's great. But like the Pokemon generations could be the head runner, you know what I'm saying? Pause. And be able to actually to move the Pokemon franchise forward while you still got this hub of Pokemon where you can interact with other people more so than what you do in the game now, because I feel like it's still really sparse the way they do it in the game now.
Right.
Even with what was the latest one, Scarlet and Violet?
Mm-hmm.
Like you got to make sure you're in the same world. Like every
Yeah.
now and then you may interact with somebody, but if that's really the focus of the game, where there's always people around, you can have these open battles just like in the real Pokemon sense. You could start off whichever island you want to start off, and I'm not even really caring about like doing like the contests and stuff like that. If you're just talking solely the gym battles, if that was going to be your focus and stuff like that, that's still a lot to do.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, one of the reasons why they probably haven't done it because Nintendo hasn't presented the infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I mean, this is going to be our first movement from one console to the next to where it's the same online system.
Yeah.
And then they just, I mean, I think it was what a year or two ago, Pokemon Bank was official at that point. So I mean, everybody has to get everything in play, but like you said, with Scarlet and Violet, you can see like they were flirting with it. I mean, they were flirting with what were the first ones that came out? Was it Sword and Shield?
Sword and Shield. Yep.
With that too. I mean, it was in like in this like controlled area, but you can see they're playing with it. So it's something that even with more generations coming out, you can throw those Pokemon over there, because I think the best example of that is Xenoverse. Xenoverse continues to get content on top of content. It's got a different art style, a play style. It has a different storyline, so it doesn't affect anything else that drops. Because I mean, with Xenoverse 2, I think before anything else, like had Gamma 1, 2, Beast Gohan, and Orange Piccolo.
Right.
Like, Kakarot is not going that route, and then I think Fighter Z finally did it. I think finally got
Beast. They did it. Yeah, they had Beast. Yeah,
but we don't have it on Spark and Zero yet, because that DLC is not set to release until Q1 of next year. So now it's like Xenoverse is, if you want like to be in a game, level up your own character, build everything around it, like Xenoverse is that game. And then they released the 2, which made it better, but they didn't release a 3. They just kept giving that game content. So I feel like the Pokemon company could give it a good name, say this is our MMO. You can talk to people, y'all can battle, we'll have events, we'll do blah 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 blah. But for the new generation, for this new story, this new whatever, play the mainline series. But you can still do the MMO game, and we'll throw the Pokemon over there whenever the time comes. But storyline, gameplay, that's on the mainline, because you can't do a storyline with an MMO, not for real. But I mean, there's some quest in there, but
not nearly to the level that you would want to do it with the main games,
right? So it's there, and you can tell that they're going to make it happen. But like I said, the only reason why I feel like they haven't done it is Nintendo just doesn't have the infrastructure for them to do it.
Yeah, and it seems like they're getting there. I'll say it. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I like the confined space that Nintendo provides, because it provides the thinking that you have to think outside of the box in order to make it happen. Right. So it definitely is definitely a good look. It's definitely a big look. And their infrastructure is not nearly as big as Sony and Microsoft's, but because of that, then you have to think of an innovative way. And that, Nintendo's always been about their innovation. So yeah,
we'll see what this next one, especially with this playtest, like we still don't know what that is.
And that's, that would be scary if that was along the lines of what they're talking about for that. Like that would be like, oh, wait a minute. So all this stuff now like really makes sense. All right, they going heavy on that.
Stress test it. Let's see what that looks like. Because I mean, whatever the people that got in, like whatever they told you to download app wise, like what are they having you do? Like, you know what I'm saying? So if it does come out and they say, okay, this was the stress test. This was to find an easy way for us to carry everything over, and then also too, we want to see like what all we can put on it. Yeah, that could be a thing of like Pokemon MMO. Do they charge for MMOs?
No, not normally. No, you pay for like the extra stuff, you know.
Gotcha. Okay. So then throw that on Nintendo Switch Online. Bam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually on the side, but to be honest with you, on the side, I can see Nintendo making you pay because that's not too much different from like the setup of how Splatoon is. You know what I'm saying? Or like Black Desert even makes you pay for the game itself.
Black Desert look crazy though. Like every time I see that game, I don't think it's real. But
all I can say is the 20 hours that I spent in that game, I still have no clue what that game is about, and like that's what really turned me off. Because you walk in that world and they give you one quest, and you're like, okay, cool. Because all I wanted was an MMO that wasn't going to throw a bunch of quests at me, and then 2 hours later, you got 15, 20 quests, and you're like, dang, I was wrong.
Yeah, I'll be getting overwhelmed. That's when they throw a whole bunch of text at you.
Is Crimson Desert going to be an MMO?
I would imagine that it would. I think it's the successor to Black Desert.
It definitely is connected. I mean, the same company, all that stuff. But for some reason, I feel like it is, but they present it like it's not, like it's something else. You know what I'm saying? Like it's weird.
Man, Jack, that was so good. I have to write it down and say you said it tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean that's the key thing because yes, Nintendo has not been one to focus on online and infrastructure, but now with this league talking about a Pokemon MMO, which people have been asking for, and I think granted they'll catch a lot of flack of like, oh, maybe this is why they're suing, Pal World, but it is what it is on that. But it all depends on how they roll it out. For me personally, if you're gonna start off a Pokemon MMO, I say start off with first gen. Don't give me nothing but first gen up front.
Right.
I feel like you got to slow drip it because to me, MMOs are overwhelming. Like there's a whole bunch of people running around. You got a whole bunch of text everywhere. You trying to figure out the game, and they're like throwing you into these quests, but then you got other people standing in the way because they're doing the same.
Right. It's messy.
It looks.
You see somebody run past you real quick.
Right.
Like, what's going on?
Like it's so messy. So I feel like if you go out the gate and say, "Oh, we put every generation in there from jump," that's gonna be a lot. So I would say start off with Gen 1. See if Nintendo's setup is gonna hold it, and then just kind of work from there. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna have like different rooms. Like you can't put everybody on one server.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking in my mind like, how would that really work? I almost because so the thing about Nintendo is when they do something, I feel like for the most part, a lot of times it's not really half butt, like or half baked. You know what I'm saying? And the things, so like the things with MMO, like you were saying, is like you see 50,000 people standing in front of one person, and you can walk inside of them, and be doing all that stuff. Pause. And so, like, I think if you have like dedicated rooms that is 100 people in or something like that. Then it causes that. But and then I kind of lean back to, so you said Generation 1. I to be honest with you, I would think that because Generation 1 is kind of weird. I almost think it would have to be the first 2 generations, if anything.
First 2 out of the gate.
Yeah, because Kanto and Johto are connected to each other as far as islands.
You have to have 2 different regions too, because you wouldn't want to stay in the same region that long. I'm with you. Because the only reason why I say like go with the first one is just to kind of get the ball rolling. Not saying that the second one wouldn't come, soon after. But get the ball rolling, and then also too, you get the old heads like me, like, oh, you got first gen, bet they get on and before all the the crazy show up, and then and then you go from there. But I mean, they would have to have different servers, and it have to be a situation of like, let's say all 3 of us want to play together, like we'll have a private room. But if you're talking about like these open servers, like, okay, have a cutoff, and I can't see these other people, but we're gonna play together, and we can end up in Johto, we can end up in Kanto, like whatever it may be. But to me, also too, one of the key things with Pokemon, they have to find an interesting thing about it, and I think Arceus was onto something because you had the missions of truly complete this Pokédex. Like that's what kept you in those locations, because in reality you could have just bounced after you beat the boss. Call of
Right.
Duty.
Facts.
But you got to find an enticing means to make me stay there.
Yeah.
So I don't know, and that's something they'll have to come up with, but I'm pretty sure they'll figure out something.
Yeah. I think Nintendo will do it their Nintendo ways and be able to make it happen.
Right.
It'll be interesting. I would love an MMO just to see what the events and stuff like that look like. That they end up throwing in there an October tournament. Like the stuff that they be showing you that's on the news on your Switch when you jump in, you'd be like, oh, it's a ranked tournament for that. I don't even play that. You know what I'm saying?
Like the raid stuff is cool. I know like people love the raids, but then also too, I mean, really throw a Pokemon tournament. Like, all right, cool. This month we're doing a Pokemon tournament. So like everybody go enter. Once you get your squad together, like you gotta go up on this day and time, and we're gonna really have this Pokemon tournament, and then we're gonna give out the trophy to whomever win the Pokemon tournament. Now, are you gonna be like Ash and it's gonna be a hot minute before you win one, or
right? That would be the closest like piece to like feeling like this is real Pokemon. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the thing, like, okay, well, February's, April's, July's, August's, November. Like the people who won in those tops, like it's gonna be whoever wins out of this becomes a quote unquote Pokemon master, for the year type deal. Yeah.
That'd be dope. Like actually put people in the Elite Four, and it's like you got to battle against them. Now that's where MMOs I'm not certain of too, and you have to educate me on this. Are MMOs kind of like the only comparison I can think of right now, like Forza? So let's say, for example, if I'm playing Forza, I go through and I do my thing, but then they have like my ghost that plays like me there, because let's be honest, like if I'm
not gonna be on there all the time.
I'm not gonna be on there all the time. So
right,
you my Pokemon and you play like me. Like, are you gonna hold it down, or do I have to? You have to wait until I get on.
That's a good question. I don't know.
No, but are you asking? Is that how it goes, or are you asking?
I'm saying
like
do MMOs do that currently? Like, let's say
no.
Okay,
no.
But I don't think of any MMOs that put you in a position of power, where it's like, oh, I'm the boss, and you got to come see me type thing. It's one of like, oh, you got to complete these missions. Because I know, like, what was it? Like, even if you do like the seasons on like, I think it's like 2K or something like that, things get simulated on your behalf. So that's why I'm curious, like, if we're gonna do this full fledged, and you can say like, all right, cool, you won this tournament, or this time around we're picking random people, and you're gonna be the gym boss for this time around, and so people got to come see you to get a badge, type thing. I mean, they got to find a creative way to do it. Because I'm not gonna always be there,
right? So
I think they got a way with how they do Pokemon Go. Okay, like when you go to those gyms or whatever like that, your whoever's running that gym, that avatar, you or there is right there, and you're fighting that Pokemon that's your main Pokemon. Like you set your main Pokemon,
right?
And you're fighting that Pokemon, and you can like, you know what I'm saying, like do what you need to do right there. But or you can lead a Pokemon there. So
that'd be dope. Because like if you come, like say for example, I come back on, log back on, I'm like, yo, 50 people murked my Moltres. All right, we about to go hit up the gym. Like,
I don't play that.
Lacking. Like I'm about to be like the dude with the sand shrews with the whips. Like y'all tripping. Like get to work. Like you making me look bad.
I think too. Probably if they were to do something like that, like whether you were a gym leader or Elite Four or whatever. You would get they would give you a quote unquote AI, a replacement, not like you literally, but you remember in like especially like in the first season, like for example, like Misty in the show wasn't the gym trainer,
right?
It was her sisters that were the gym trainer, but because they were out, she was the one representing the gym, so she gave out the badge. Right. So it would be like something in that case, like, oh, the gym trainer isn't here, but I'll be the one representing. You know what I'm saying? So
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. That is dope.
So you don't have to necessarily feed him or them or whoever with all of your, starting 5 Pokemon, but he's like, I got a selection of Pokemon, blah blah blah. What do you think I should pick? And then it also has like the user side, so you could pick like your strongest of your team or whatever to be represented. And
You
so
on something there because that means I got to build teams. Like when they
yeah.
assign me as like a gym leader, all right,
Mhm.
cool. I want about 5 people. You
Mhm.
got this many. You got this many because I'm pretty sure they're gonna have like the first one. You can only have like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
And then it comes further up, you can have more. But when it gets to the person that's representing you, if you're not present or if they don't want you to be present, and it's like, hey, you just gotta like have somebody hold down the fort. All right, bet I'm gonna give you Pokemon that I went out here and caught. I trained them up. You just fight them. Like you just fight them. And then like I got it set up like this. So you're used to, oh, I'm going to the gym, and this gym leader has like all water Pokemon. In this case, you're like, hey, look, I got some water, I got some rock, I got some psychic. Like you can
but think about it this way. Like me, I want you in a sense.
But
you
that's
know what I'm saying?
thing,
So I would want that like avatar of you, kind of like how you were saying Forza is, because it's like I want how you would play. Like so say that you pull out your what's the name, like your fire Pokemon and like right now, and then like you'll switch it up. Like I want that actual interaction instead of just here's my 5 Pokemon.
Go fight.
I want that actual.
Most of them actually have rules, and it'll be interesting how you can implement rules. I think because like you can ask you can have like the basic rules like what is your fighting style, like oh I'm aggressive or I use more of my fast attacks, or I'm more defensive, build up defense, or keep all my Pokemon, like that basic stuff.
Right.
But the thing about gym leaders the thing about most gym leaders, I won't say all gym leaders, the thing about most gym leaders all the way up until this point is they have an unsaid rule of whatever Pokemon I sent out is the Pokemon that I'm playing with until it faints. So I don't know if that's a rule that like they would imply, but there could also be that rule of if my Pokemon hits yellow or if my Pokemon hits red, then send out Pokemon to advantage or move to advantage. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean, I think that'll be the easy way out. But like going the Forza route of like, and then even 2K did it too, of like just looking at my play style, like looking at my player ID and saying like, okay, how often does he switch out his Pokemon when he gets to this? How often does he use like medicines, or how often does he use like defense stuff? Like it's gonna go by percentages, so it's gonna play like you to where like the way you're going, that's gonna be a lot of rules set up. Like
that is
people gonna be in there tweaking, trying to figure out how to break this and break that. But if you play like I play, because like for me, I rarely use things like curl up or any type of defense up or attack raise. I'm just trying to beat it out, like, and then I use some heals. Like I'm depending on your power to make it through. But I know there's some people that's like, look, I start off this match, I raise my defense twice, then I'll come and I use like a growl to lower your attack, and like they're very strategic with it.
That's me.
If you see like your player card and you look, and somebody can look at your player card like, oh, okay, so he switches out a lot, he does it. So okay, so he's like, it makes people really stop and think, because like Vito was saying, in reality, when you went to the water gym, it's like, all right, cool, I just show up with some grass and I just wipe all y'all out with one Pokemon. Like it's simplistic to where you really want this to work. All right, I'm not gonna be on here all the time, but if my AI, like based off of my play style, but you're gonna have to play enough for it to build some type of rapport for you.
Right.
But you do it enough to where when I come back, I better see some dubs. Like I better see people struggled. And like you show me who I battled, and then you show me like, okay, cool, they're here. Let me be able to go find you. Like, like, oh, you beat me while I was gone. Let's run the fade again. Like, let's run it back, because I'm on the game today. Like, you got the badge.
I think it would be cool, because that kind of lends to like I think it's Silver, where you can go back and fight the gym trainers again. But it would be like just as dope if it's like you jumped in, you see 50 people ended up beating you out of 125. So you're like, oh, okay, bet. I can't wait to see one of these 50. But it like gives you a like notice, like such and such beat you. They're over here on this map. So you're like, all right, bet. About to go find them right now.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
I'm about to go over there. Like, oh yeah, now I really see you. Now we're gonna really have this match. Um, and I think I like how you said it with the you know, how often do you do this and do that
Mhm.
to make it work? Because one of the biggest things, you know, Nintendo is about everybody being able to play, right?
Right.
So like, so you're gonna have younger kids on here, and they're like, well, you know, the game is too hard. You know, they do this often. I don't know what I'm doing, type of deal. So if you still have difficulty levels where it's easy, normal, you know, and hard or whatever, those percentages are relevant to the difficulty level. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So if you switch out, you know, 75% of the time when you get into red on hard, on easy, that looks like 25% of the time.
Right.
So like maybe you do switch out, maybe it doesn't switch out. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That way it makes it accessible and easier for like younger kids to be able to play.
So kind of put it like in like to kind of have like two different camps. So kind of
Mhm,
similar to what Mario Party is doing. Like you can either go to the pro mode or you can just
mhm,
go to the have fun mode. Like you don't have
mhm.
to be out here with the pros. You can play the
Yeah.
game as is, where similar to what you said. All right, cool. Let's have this difficulty level, and whoever you face, you know, y'all in this camp together. This is what you're gonna do. Is a very standard situation to where
Mhm.
you got the other cats over here that breed, and they done figured out how to do all this other stuff to get the strongest Pokemon and find shinies and all this stuff. Like
Right.
they're committed and they need it, but they're committed. So, but yeah, I mean that'd be pretty dope. Now we're saying all this and knowing good and well Pokemon Company ain't gonna do it, but
I ain't doing none of it.
still very it's very interesting that you're able to spawn off of just a Pokemon MMO. Yeah, so
Yeah, yeah. So, but we are at 2 minutes and almost 2 minutes, two
wow.
hours, and 30 minutes. We're gonna call it here. I really appreciate you guys coming through.
No,
Before we get out of here, Jack, what you got up for us?
man, a lot. Um, a lot. I don't even know if I'm supposed to say the other part, but I'll hint at it. Um, there is a project in the works, not from just me. There's me and a multitude of people.
Mm,
It was something that was brought up by a friend of the show. And then the person we were waiting on, he gave us a thumbs up today or yesterday.
mm.
And in the midst of giving us a thumbs up yesterday, I went straight into studio mode immediately to kind of give my contribution to this project. I didn't list names, I didn't say what it was. So I mean, if I'm not supposed to, it is what it is. But outside of that, I chose not to release an album.
Mhm,
I was gonna do the lyrical practice volume 3.
mhm,
Um, and I just decided to just release them as singles. And it was kind of a thing like I said a long time ago I was gonna stop doing albums, but you know, just to kind of drop a single every month. So what I called it was like Music Grounds New Single Sundays. So every first Sunday I'll
mhm.
drop a brand new single. So it was a matter of like I was supposed to start last month, but then it was this back and forth with TuneCore. They were taking forever in the freaking day to pull my music down so I can move it over to Ditto Music. And you know, one of the reasons why I moved over to Ditto, for anybody that really does the music thing, they give you 100% of your proceeds. Even if you don't subscribe to them anymore, they won't pull your music. So it's legitimately like for the artists. And I'm
Mhm.
really glad I figured out who they were at the time. But yeah, we got the first single that's coming out next month on the 3rd is Ricky Bobby Zoomin. Just came up with that
Mm.
title. I heard your beat, the hat off beat. Listening to it and something just like Ricky Bobby Zoom. I don't know where it came from. It just popped up. Um, and then the second single that's supposed to come out in December is with me and VG Mobster, Mr. Morales. It was kind of like our spin on Miles Morales.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's called Mr. Morales. So VG killed it. Like just because the beat choice I went with was kind of like a Wu-Tang RZA type beat, and he has like that New York flow. Like he has that boom bap flow. So it was an easy pick to put him on there. But yeah, it was the Mr. Morales joint. So outside of that, I think I'm going to do like a clean run of everything you produced right after that.
Okay.
So I'm trying to keep it organized because my mind be all over the place, like on what I release. So, so next is gonna be the clean run because even though like this first one is yours, I had to get this one out first. Like, I love this song so much, I had to get it out first. With Ditto Music lets me label like my character artists without them actually being artists. Because like with anything else that I've used, they're like, oh, well, you got to pay for this artist. I'm like, but it's not a real artist. It's still me. It's just I'm playing a character.
Right.
So they let me do it. So I haven't gotten the kickback yet. So
they're like, no.
And then they also too let you put your record label, because TuneCore wouldn't let you do it. Like, you had to pay to like put a record label. And I'm
Really?
like, well, like, because I was on DistroKid. DistroKid didn't care. Like, they was like, what you want to put? So I mean, so now I'm able to do all that. But other than that, like, I'm doing the run for your production, and then after that, I'm supposed to be doing the run for TJ's production.
Okay.
Him and KT, like they done some production already, and then like I'll have my oldest, the song that he did, which was a I call it The Journey, and it was the Dragon Ball samples we did. So we did like the first song was Dragon Ball, and then I made another beat for Dragon Ball Z years ago called Roshi. And I made that the Dragon Ball Z one, and then he made the Ultra Instinct beat. So essentially, I have like my Deep character, which is a female character playing Bulma on the first Dragon Ball one, then Roshi, which is my character X-Main for Roshi, and then I, as my Action Jack character doing Ultra Instinct Goku on the third portion of the beat switch. So it's coming together. I mean, it's a lot of music. I'm having fun with it right now, even with the baby. Because we're doing swaps. I think I'm on shift now. It's like the 12 to 5 shift.
Okay.
So she's still holding it down right now, but she's still holding it down for the 12 to 5 switch. So when I get off here, I got to go, do my daddy duties. But yeah, I mean, that's what's going on. I mean, I still want to do this longer video of like the status of the video game industry right now, kind of from like my perspective, as far as like where it's standing, how we got here, and where it's going. And it's going to be a long video, like a 20+ minute video.
Okay.
I don't plan to edit anything. I'm talking, which I'll have time to do that probably tomorrow. I'll just throw the webcam up and just get to talking.
Go at it.
Yeah. So I got to get it out because I've been sitting on it for so long. It was so many different videos that were supposed to be separate, and then I'm just gonna like join them together. But that should be recorded and put it out by tomorrow. But yeah, other than that, man, it's really the music. I mean, the music's really been pushing. And a lot of people are coming out of their shells. And then Vito, man. So I can't wait to drop that one. Vito came through heavy with one of the tracks. Like crazy. So it's I might push that one up. But other than that, but that was did his thing. So I'm looking forward to really getting the features out there, because there's a lot of artists that just watch or are on these channels as gamers, and they really make music, like really make it, and it's not like bad music either. It's like legitimately good music, and so that's where it's pretty dope. The fact that we connect off of gaming, and then everybody got like their little secret Batman joint at the nighttime. It's super dope. So man, getting to collab with everybody, and I know everybody got their own schedule, and a lot of people feel like they're done with music, and then whenever they hear you, they're like, oh, okay, you kind of sparked something in me for me to get back in it. So it's pretty dope, and I always send out that bat signal, like, if you want to collab, I don't charge nothing. I'll make the beat. Like, all you gotta do is send it to me. I'll mix and master the joint. Like, just send it to me to where it sounds halfway decent. Like, I mix my dad's phone recordings and drop the mixtape off of that. So I mean, it ain't got to be studio quality. We'll try to work what we got. Like, it's a lot of technology out here to make things sound good. So, but yeah, man. So I'll shut up. But yeah, that's what I got going on.
Okay.
All right. Vito, what you got up for us?
So I dropped the latest live from Nunami on the comment section. So if y'all want to take a look at that, what we did yesterday over on the Nunami channel and stuff, check that out. We had some great conversation over there. We definitely start going in on some mechs. We had some mech talk. I think that was like the biggest thing or whatever. Then also too, I put a link to my latest Vitoverse. So if y'all want to check that out, feel free. But definitely every Thursday and Friday is the Veto Variants and Veto Verse. So if y'all want to come through one of those lives, or even if it's not even, coming through on the lives, you know what I'm saying? You just want to pop in on the pre-recorders or any other videos and comment and this and that and third, it will be greatly appreciated. And hitting that like button and helping us out over on those channels, especially the Nunami channel, since that's our newest one. We definitely need you guys to help us out over there. Plus, I know you guys watch anime, so come on through, man. Stop being shy. Stop being shy, man. We definitely need your support, and we'll love to hear from you over there as well. But other than that, that's all I got.
All right. And you can also find Vito and Nodoka Yui, who hosts the Nunami channel, in the description below. I just put it there, so make sure you guys go over there and hit subscribe for both of those, as well as the like button, and put the notifications on so y'all know whenever it comes through. Y'all know how we do every other Friday. We're on the Vitoverse, and on those opposite Fridays now, we're on the Nunami channel doing anime every Saturday, except for this Saturday. We are doing the Stormcast at 7 o'clock. It will be back to the normal time next week, I believe. I don't think I have anything going on. Sunday is at 7 o'clock, the Winging It podcast, where you can catch all my Winging It brothers and Vicky as well on the channel as we talk about more gaming stuff. There will probably be some conversations about what we're talking about today, and there will probably be some conversations of what we didn't talk about today that will be talked about tomorrow. So make sure you go over there.
Hey, let me plug this in for Jay. They do a review on Saturday mornings, or no, Sunday mornings. Sunday mornings on whatever's like the hottest like TV show or something like that. Like right now is like Agatha All Along. So they do those on every Sunday. So please, if you guys like any of that type of stuff, if you like what's, what I'm saying, like going on Agatha, or you want to, comment what's going on, what your thoughts are, please go over there, support that. Definitely. I had to plug that. Because I'm like, I seen them doing their thing, and they're always doing their thing constantly. And it's like, I know there's more people that watch this stuff. So definitely, man, hey, just shout out to Jay and Vicky for doing those on Sundays at 10, I believe. Yeah. But definitely, man, just go over there, support them on that. They're doing some dope reviews. You know what I'm saying? They definitely have a nice opinion on these shows and stuff like that. And you probably agree or you don't agree with some of their stuff. So definitely go over there, hit them comments up, the likes up. You know what I'm saying? So I just had to throw that in there real quick.
Oh yeah. And then as far as the last thing, Monday is the Chill podcast, where you can catch me on Terminate Juice podcast all the time, but I should be there this Monday. Actually, a lot more often, because the thing that I was doing is no longer available on Monday. So I should be there a lot more often. Other than that, thank you, Dark Void, for coming through. My moderators, Brand Smith, Dark Void, Jay Biggs, and was it just the three of y'all? Jay Biggs, Brand Smith, Dark Void.
Yeah, the man over on YouTube. Instagram,
on Instagram, yeah. Morbid Details, appreciate you coming through. Squared, as usual, man, thank you for coming through. Haven't seen Exodia this time around. Actually wasn't landed last time around, so I hope he's doing good as well. We really appreciate y'all coming through and holding down the fort, really do. Squared, bro, you keep showing up like that, you're gonna be a moderator too, man. Real talk. Other than that, we're going to pray out. We're going to get up out of here. Thank you, God, for allowing us to have a great, amazing podcast. And have fun, just laugh and be inspired by the topics that we love to talk about. So as we call it a night, or as we move on with our night, we just thank you for having us in your hands. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. We up out of here. See y'all later. Peace.